welcome to Purl Perspectives. Today we're going to talk to you about what we're making, what we're thinking, what we're reading, what we're wearing, and we dive a little bit into our opinions about the newly released Game of Wool on Channel 4. So stick around if that sounds like your cup of tea. I'm Anahí.
I'm Allie.
I'm Carine.
And this is Bilbo, our lovely mascot, who is very excited to see
So many friends.
the live stream setup again. He's usually not interested, but today he wanted to be all up in the business. Isn't that right?
Support.
We support that.
We support.
And if you're also all up in this business, welcome. This is Purl Perspectives, a bi-weekly podcast. Now, I think we've decided ish. Let's say a frequent podcast.
Look, we're people with jobs and pets, okay?
Seriously. That we bring to you out of our living room. We are three real-life Canadian friends who knit together and chat together and eat treats together.
So many treats.
Drink yummy drinks together, and we love sitting here for a couple of hours and just sharing with our community what's on our mind and what we're making to see if we can find a little bit of respite in the world that is 2025's.
Almost 2026.
Almost 2026.
That's disturbing when you think about it.
Yeah.
How quickly that went.
A little scurry.
And I realize that the internet is a really vast place, so if you made it here, wow, hello, how did you end up here? Welcome in, grab a cup of something, and I hope that you enjoy our company for a little bit.
Yeah, and you're in luck today. Out of frame, just below us, is a second pug.
Oh,
That's right.
almost in frame.
Guest
Hold on.
pug. Hold on, she's coming. She's
Guest
coming.
pug.
She coming.
Guest pug.
Oh, girl. 2 pugs
For the price of
3
one.
girls, and absolutely a million vibes.
No, I'm not going to kiss you. That's weird.
She is so cute. She's more potato-y
Yeah.
than Bilbo is. She's more of a potato body kind of pug.
Yeah. Barnita is Bilbo's litter mate,
That's right.
but she lives with Annie and Gerbo's extended family.
In Toronto.
Toronto. So she's just here for a little visit while her mom and pops are on vacation, the lucky ducks.
And I will warn everybody,
Oh gosh, you're shitty.
Barnita is a bit of a nervous wreck. Mm-hmm. Honestly, relatable.
Hard saying.
So you might hear her get a little upsetty spaghetti later today if things change or if we move or if there's a skateboard outside or there's just a lot of things that bother her. And honestly, Barnita, me too, girl.
Yeah, same.
Me too. Same. There's just a lot of things that bother me.
I unironically go, ugh, youth, at least once a week now.
Oh no.
I'm only 33.
Oh, not the youth.
Ugh, the
Aw,
youth.
the youth.
The youths.
Ugh, children. Yeah, that's me.
Children.
So I get it, babe.
Yeah.
I get it. Oh, look
So
at that. Look at that face.
2 pugs, 3 girls, and a bunch of whips.
And opinions.
And opinions.
And-
So
yeah.
many perspectives.
Yeah.
I see that you've brought your books.
Oh yeah, because I am knee deep in books right now.
Ooh.
I love
Do you
it.
want to start us off with your dork then? And you can
Sure.
skip right to the book part if you want.
I mean, I
Honestly.
don't wait.
If
Drink.
you're excited.
I guess
Oh,
I should probably drink this or try it
Oh,
before
it's so hot, buddy.
Be careful. Yeah.
I like
It
when
smells
it's
really good
cold.
though.
I like to have my tongue burned, you know.
Don't think I've ever met anyone who can say that. Ow, pointy little.
I'm one of those people where like the food or the drink has to be like piping hot out of the microwave or whatever,
right?
or
Yeah.
like otherwise I don't like
Where
it.
did your cup of
I
coffee
don't know
go?
what my coffee
Is that it
Is
up
that
there?
over there?
Nope.
It was in one of those Starbucks mugs, wasn't it?
It was. I swear I had my
You
coffee
did.
in
I
my
was right
hand.
here.
Did you put it? Maybe you brought it into the kitchen.
Oh, did you move it when we went to go set up the computer and everything?
Yeah, maybe I did. Okay, I'll be right back.
So yeah, this is my drink. It's a mint tea, which is absolutely lovely. I did not choose this, but I approve of it. Mostly because I ran late. I pretty much ran across the bridge almost. I thought I had time, and I was like, this is gonna be fine. And then Mother Nature.
I thought you were coming from the market.
No, I ended up not going.
Okay.
I woke up late and I felt like
Yeah.
So I ended up. So I walked across the bridge. I left the house, and within 5 minutes of me leaving, Mother Nature said, "Oh, you think it's not bad yet? Okay." And then we can't have that, so it started to pretty much like it's the wind.
Yeah.
Like so it gets in your face and your hair and your everything, and then it makes it harder to walk because then you have like 5 layers on top of you. Like,
did you cross Alexandra or the newly renamed Omegan Bridge?
Is that Portage?
Yes.
The old Portage? Okay, so yeah, that's the one. And I just moved, and then I went to Pimisi, but then when I got to the station, it was, the train had just passed, so I had to wait 10 minutes.
10 more minutes.
I'm like, damn it.
So, for context, here in Ottawa, we are lucky to be very close to, actually on the border with the province of Quebec, which is where Carine lives. Mm-hmm. But almost cartoonishly, the two cities are separated by a river.
Yeah.
The Ottawa River. Ottawa River.
I mean, that's pretty common.
L'Outaouais.
La rivière des Outaouais.
Or,
La
in
rivière des
Algonquin,
Outaouais.
the Kitchissippi.
The Kitchissippi.
The big water.
The big water. And so there are multiple bridges that cross from the Ontario side to the Quebec side. One of them is just pedestrian. Two of them are car, and one of them is mix, car and pedestrian. Mm-hmm. And multiple of those bridges have been under construction
all the time, and they also flood. Well,
years.
some of them flood
for years now. And we keep thinking, why couldn't you plan this with a little bit more?
I mean, the lockdowns didn't help.
Yeah.
This is
they
true.
They did throw a wrench in the construction plans.
This is true, but like it's funny that you have to like really rely on luck pretty much.
Mm-hmm. There's days
to be able to cross the river.
And then the thing is, they close those bridges when there's events that go through downtown, right? So like there's days where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go downtown or whatever, and then I remember firmly going to or planning to go to an event across the bridge. It was actually at close to Beyond the Pale. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't pass because all the bridges were closed except for one that was like super far, and I couldn't, like, it's not walkable. I'd have to like Uber essentially. Mm-hmm. And I was with my partner. We're trying to and then somebody stops us and is like, they're all closed, like because of, I think it was
that
during
Canada Day?
No, I think it was during the convoy. It may have been, or there was something happened, and essentially all the bridges were closed for like.
Did the rest of the world know about the convoy? It was a big deal here. It was local news.
Yeah.
It made international news.
You think it made?
So, yeah.
No, it did. I know it did because I
did.
had friends who live overseas who were messaging me, and they're like, "What the frick is happening?"
So a couple of years ago, there was this
2021, January 2021.
Really, was it 2021? It seems like it was fresher than that.
Nope, because it was the 1 year anniversary of Trump's, or not Trump's inauguration, Biden's inauguration.
Oh, okay. So
or it was right around Biden's
2021, January, February, there was this group of truckers that were discontent with the vaccination and the COVID restrictions that were put across the border, like because their livelihood depended on them being able to cross, drive over the border, like back and forth with goods, because they are.
But it wasn't just the international border; it was also the interprovincial border too.
That's right, because province to province, the COVID restrictions changed a little bit. Like they differed. Yeah. So it started as them doing a peaceful protest, but along the way, a lot of other people kind of misunderstood and added to this cause.
Intentionally
misunderstood, and the message and the intention of this protest
got lost.
Really lost and really, really warped.
Essentially, it got taken over by a fringe movement who wants to like literally burn down the government, and they ended up literally occupying downtown Ottawa for several weeks.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty.
So
bad.
we refer to that event as the convoy.
And I love how they're, like, sometimes I would hear some people talking about, like, being on the side of the protesters. Like, they're not that loud. And I'm sitting there going, I'm on the Quebec side, on the other side of the river, and I hear them. Yeah. So they're not that quiet. Because I can only imagine the people who are downtown. And don't get me wrong, everybody has the right to protest. Like, this is a democracy, we have the right. But
they weren't doing it safely.
Yeah.
They weren't doing it safely.
Well, because it was February, and
February.
They had minors around, and
Children.
there wasn't proper insulation in the trucks, and so people were not safely protected from the wind and the elements. February in Ottawa is crazy cold.
There
It
were a
was
couple
like
people who
-20
also tried to
every
set
day.
fire to an apartment building after locking the doors, the front doors.
Like I said, like the protest just like took on a life of its own. I don't think people really were aligned at all on what they were protesting
I have a feeling
about.
a lot of people didn't even know what others were protesting. You know, they
I
had
think
their
they just
opinions,
saw, like,
but
angry mom. Yeah,
I
I'm
had some
angry.
extended family members from Northern Ontario who were posting about it favorably on social media, and when I reached out and was like, actually, this is what it's like down here in the middle of it, and they straight up said to me digitally, "You're lying, you don't know what you're talking about." And I'm like, I can lean out over my balcony and see them rolling by. Like, I'm right there on the route that they're driving every single day.
that's what's frustrating a little bit in situations like this, is where you have someone who's in it and they're telling you their experience and you're like, you're lying. Like, there's denial and then there's denial. You know, like, if somebody who's in it, and yes, that person could very well be biased and you know, like, have their own feelings about it, but trust that they'll actually give you a better idea of what's happening than someone who's reporting from like across the country talking about the subject. If you're not in it, you don't know what's really happening, right?
Yeah. Guys, I have so
So much hair.
pug fur on me now.
Look at them. They're just
Double
potatoes.
pugs.
I'm really glad I didn't wear a
Potatoes.
knitted sweater.
They're so adorable.
I intentionally didn't wear a knitted sweater, but I wasn't expecting this. This is amazing. I love it. We should spin it.
I don't think the staple length of Barnita's hair is very short, but I mean, it's soft AF. She's like the softest little pug I've ever had the pleasure of cuddling with. And she's cuddly.
Yeah, well, right now she's clearly a cuddly potato. Like,
Cuddly
you're right.
potato.
It's
Look at
very
her.
much potato.
It's very potatoey because you know how potatoes have like dark spots sometimes?
the
She
eyes.
has a perfect dark spot right here on her forehead. And her ears are also black. So it's just so potatoey. My brother, I was like sitting here on the couch and this morning setting up for the pod and having my coffee. And my brother walked in and he saw me and he was like, if you don't put those bread loaves away, they're gonna get really stale. I'm like, what? We have bread loaves? And he pointed at the two pugs and they were like cuddling together, like one over the other. It was so cute.
That is adorable.
No.
Gerbo says I sent the link to her mama so she can watch her live. Yeah.
This is the sweetest bean you have right there.
Barnita's human, my sister-in-law Lorena, is currently on vacation. And so that's why we're watching her while she's away. And
Is she at least somewhere warm, Lorena?
She is.
Lucky
yeah.
duck. Lucky you.
They went somewhere warm. But apparently they got a cold front while they were there, so it wasn't as warm as
So it
wanted
wasn't
it to
32
be.
degrees? It was only 27?
I'm guessing. I haven't gotten the details. But yeah, no, it's kind of a bummer, but it's still warmer than here.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So, if you're watching, Lorena, your baby girl is potatoing like a dream. Yeah. She's perfect in every way, except
living her best
except
life.
she's currently breaded Allie.
Yeah, I'm a little covered in
You look
hair.
like
That's
a
okay.
you look like a dog hair schnitzel at the moment. Fully covered in hair.
That's okay. That's okay.
We totally interrupt your door.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
totally fine.
Yeah.
I feel like it happens all the time. We all interrupt, and it's okay.
organic.
I'm okay with this. This is the kind of interruption I want.
Fantastic.
So yeah, the drink, like I said, is and it's in a beautiful tea, like
Tumbler.
like glass tea tumbler.
But it's not just a tumbler; it's also an infuser.
This is the replacement that I got because the one I don't know if anybody remembers, but like a few months ago I had another one that was really nice with cats on it, and I was like super excited. It was my first time using it, and I broke it the same day on my way home. Like, I'm not
Girl,
being home at home.
ain't that just the way?
So I got really upset, and I tried to find the same one, but I couldn't. So my mother-in-law, being the absolute freaking angel
That she
is,
Truly the best bean.
I was like, so can you like call the place where we got, because I got it in Toronto, Mississauga. Can you call and see if they have other ones? And she's like, She's like, they didn't have other ones, but they had that one, so I got you that one.
Aww.
And I was like, I don't care. I love it.
That's so nice.
So this is mint tea, and it's lovely. It's very nice.
So
After
that's what you're drinking.
Yes.
What is your outfit?
Well, I just slapped this on today. It's nothing handmade. Although I do have new pants, which are nice. These are the Just
so
Cozy.
The fleece-lined leggings, right?
Fleece-lined leggings. So they're super soft. They have like a fleece inside. So like they're
Just Cozy is back?
Yeah, they're at Rito, and this $10 a pair. Right
I feel about Just Cozy pop-up shops like I feel about Spirit Halloween. It marks the beginning of the season.
I just want to say I bought like 6 pairs.
That's okay.
Yeah.
7 pairs.
You
Last
wear them
year.
all
A lot of
winter,
pairs
though.
So because I love to wear them under like a skirt, like a little like a mini skirt or a pencil skirt or whatever, like because they're still chic, they're nice, and they keep you warm. And they like the fleece one is actually really warm compared to the non-fleeced one. I have a few of the non-fleece which I wear in the spring or summer, but the fleece is like for this weather. Like you don't want to wear, otherwise you can get too warm.
If you don't have a cozy pop-up near you, I have been told that the snag tights lined ones are very similar and warm.
Yeah, no, they're
not $12.
Actually, I don't know how much they are.
Oh, okay.
So technically
But you can't try them on.
I think they're not on sale, they advertise for $40. They're probably like $20. But right now they're $10 each. So again, I went a little nuts and I got
them all winter.
I get a couple pairs every winter because I do wear them every day.
That's the thing, and and
sometimes under my regular pants.
This is the first
Honestly,
year
it gets cold enough here.
Yeah, this is the first year I get the funky ones, like funky colors or whatever. Mostly because Matt said I was boring for buying all green. Well, not boring. He didn't say it like that.
Boring.
But he's like, why do you always get the like full color ones? Like just get like ones that are like with patterns and stuff. I was like, you're right. I should.
You can.
And then I went and I bought like 3 pairs. I did fall in love with these ones right away, so that was not a problem.
They look really cool, kind of like a painting.
Yeah, I just like that they have like all these like different colors, and I literally was going back and forth between like red, pink, and blue, and I was like, oh well, that kind of like checks all my boxes.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, that's what I'm wearing. Nothing fancy.
Why don't you do knitting first? Because I have a feeling it's going to be a minute.
Knitting, I'm continuing. I finished.
Yay!
After 50 years.
The body.
After 50 years. This felt like 50 years, guys. This was the longest ribbing I've ever done in my life.
And is it twisted ribbing?
It's twisted ribbing and it's Italian bind off.
Oh my god.
That is a labor of love.
It looks
fantastic. You should
lovely.
Show a little closer.
Okay, but
sorry,
buddy.
You got the bug.
Look at that edge.
So crisp.
Oh my god.
So clean.
So I'm very excited about this. I'm so excited to have been to finish that part. So now I'm at the first sleeve, and even though there's more Italian bind off in my future, it's going to be
just
much
the sleeves,
smaller.
Yeah.
So I will not I was at a point where it's a weird crossroad where I can't work on any other project anymore because I'm close to finishing this one, so my mind tells me you can't switch. That's not a thing anymore.
Like when you're almost at the end of the bag of chips.
Yeah.
And you're like no.
It's like I can't there is a point in my knitting where my mind will forbid me from thinking about other projects or looking at other projects. It's you need to focus on this one till it's done. Shut up and deal with it.
Oh,
so I was
your
at
sister.
Oh, buddy. Pile. Oh,
so that's where I was at.
Wow, that was a whole last minute there.
But it was also a very it was hard on the hands to do the ribbing, and I also mentally I wasn't there. I wasn't knitting as much as I wanted to in the last few weeks. So
what happened?
I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. I tried to knit.
Seasonal, effective is my guess.
Maybe I would try to, and I would knit half a row, and then be like, and then I'd put it down. And I have no reason for it. Yes, there were a few stressful events, but nothing
But it's also okay that we go through the highs and lows of making. There's nothing that says you are legally obligated to knit 57 hours a day. You can put down your knitting for 3 weeks and it's fine.
Yeah, it feels weird though. That's what in the sense I'm so used to knitting all the time, so now
Because
I'm
it's
like,
a habit that you have.
yeah,
right?
and that would be like watching TV and not doing anything. I'm like, and my hands would be like, I don't know, like, what's happening? Why are we not moving? Like, it was a very strange thing. And then one day, for no reason at all, I just picked up the needles and then I literally just finished the ribbing. Like,
Stop licking your
I just went through it till, and I think I went to sleep at like midnight on that day, just finishing the ribbing.
Oh my god, and that's big for you because you're usually in bed
Yeah,
at
I'm
9.
usually in bed like pretty, so
pretty
it was,
early.
It was, yeah, I don't know what happened there, but that's where we're at. So, I just started the first of 2 sleeves.
Yay.
And then after that, all I have left to do is the collar, and we're good.
Nice.
It is absolutely giving me life.
I love it. I'm
That
obsessed
collar
with it,
combo?
and I want to wear it. I also want to move on with my life. So.
Did you choose to do twisted rib on?
No,
on
that's
or was that the pattern?
It's the pattern, but I also feel like this is acceptable, and I
It
love
looks really clean.
You know what I
I
mean?
love
Like,
a half twisted rib, which I think that is.
No, that's
That's
yeah.
full twisted.
No, it's half twisted.
Half twisted. Okay.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
It's just, yeah, it's given me, and it's so nice to touch. Like, just the ribbing. It's like, it has that little, like, I don't know, it's not the same as normal.
It's very texturally pleasing.
Yeah, very much. What my ADHD loves. Anyway, so yeah, that's my knitting. And now to the main event. So I gotta talk about this because it's a long time coming. So I'm at, well, actually before, this is the first book that I'm gonna, because I'm reading 2 at the same time. This is the newest version of The Wealthy Barber. That came out in 2025. So it's his fully updated all-time Canadian classic. I listened to his podcast, so he explained a little bit what the changes were, and essentially, although the original Wealthy Barber is still very valid, there are a lot of things that have changed in the last 30 plus years. So he's updated that so that it's a little bit more, up to speed with how the current market is.
Fair. A lot of things have changed in the financial landscape.
And it's like the real estate market is a complete different,
Yeah.
So it's very like, I just started it, and of course it's the same. If you've read the original, it's the same like cute little like, here's my situation, here are the players, and kind of like narrative. It's very nice. I'm gonna enjoy it because I'm a financial nerd.
His ear.
Yeah, it's his allergies.
Oh, okay.
Buddy.
If you can hear it off screen, it's just he's licking his foot and then itching his ear with his wet foot.
Which is how he ends
bad.
up getting a ear infection. So we put like little eardrops on him every night. But the good news is that the allergy season is almost over, and as soon as everything's snow covered, there will be no more allergens that he's close to, so we'll be a lot less itchy.
Just wanted to check because I was like,
I appreciate your concern.
That doesn't seem normal for him.
No, I think at this point it's becoming kind of like an obsession.
Yeah.
He's probably not that itchy, but he gets into
kind of
a
like
rhythm
compulsive.
And he's like just compulsively.
It's habit. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Sorry.
Poor buddy.
Now let's talk about the main event of your books.
Well, anyway, so yeah, The Wealthy Barber is for the financial nerd in me, nonfiction, and then.
Did you finish it already?
No, I'm in the middle of it.
Okay.
This one I'm also in the middle of, but that's because I'm savoring
Secrets
this
and
book.
Sorrows by Melissa K. Roehrich.
This is the Legacy series. This is the second book in the Legacy series. Just to give you a little background, I read the first one when we were on vacation in February. And it took me 10 months to pick up this book because of how emotionally damaged I was by the first one.
Oh no, buddy.
It was so.
You
but
had
like
a lot of big feels about that.
It was. It's so good. It's like I can't explain how amazing it is. Like those who've read it know what I'm talking about. Like you read this. First of all, it's a fantasy, very much fantasy. There's fae. There's gods. There's humans. There's magic. There's underworlds, demons, vampires. There's everything you want in there.
That is everything I want.
And it's absolutely, well, first of all, let's start with the first part. It is probably one of the best written book fantasy book I've ever read in my life.
Is that
the
true?
prose
Wow.
is amazing. Like this woman knows how to freaking, because I will admit that I sometimes detach from a story because of how it's written.
Amen.
And I don't mean the characters. I don't mean the story. I mean
the style of writing.
The style of writing
I do
is
the same
too
thing.
simple.
It's very common.
And it's just like, I can't do it. I'm like, I'm reading a high school fan fiction. Like, this is not it. So this is very much not it. It's very, very elevated. It's insanely beautifully written. Let's start with that. Number two, the story is a banger. Like it's so complex, and the reason it took me so long is also because it is a labor of love, and it is it's very intensive to read it. Like you have to really pay attention. You can't just like walk around and like you really have to you have to be aware of what you're reading. So I can't just like I'm gonna take my time is what I'm saying.
You can't like be reading it and like have distractions around.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm
Oh.
Everything's going straight into the laundry when I get home. It's all good.
So yeah, this is the second one. I started it like, I don't know, 3 days ago, and I'm already almost at the end. And it's not because I'm reading fast, it's because I'm obsessed and I keep reading it, and I keep like, I will watch TV. Like, okay, this is how obsessed I am with this book. I will watch TV.
Sorry, we had a barking interlude.
Bunny guys, okay.
Amir, you got this, girl.
It's just Mike outside. Now she's sniffing her brother's butt. Like, okay.
Good for
For
you,
comfort.
girl. For comfort.
For comfort.
Oh,
Anyway.
So yeah, so essentially.
So this book has really got you like.
Oh, it's got me in a chokehold. It's, and I think the reason why is like not only this is the story absolutely amazing, but it's also a lot of feminine rage. So much feminine rage, so much, and
Which
and
we all can relate to.
Somebody told me, or not me, but like when I heard about the story, the person said, whatever you do, hold on till the end of the first book. Don't stop. Mm-hmm. It will be worth it. And I'm like, and I'm halfway through the first one. I'm like, I don't see it, and it's not because it's not good. It's because it's really enraging. Mm-hmm. And then you get to the end, and you're like, oh. And then the last bit of the first book really gives you an insight as to what is to come.
Yeah.
And this one, if I remember correctly, it's this one that has like a little a little acknowledgement thing at the end. Mm-hmm. Anyway, and she literally says, the author, trust the process. Because again, there's a lot of like, I want to punch somebody in the throat. But then there's also
but they are not a real person, so I can't do that.
But then there's that feminine rage that comes out, and then there's these moments that are just such wonderful
relief.
Well, it's almost like a release of energy of like all that pent up like frustration of like anger for the character.
Yeah.
And then you just
like the word
vindication. Like
I think the word you're looking for is cathartic.
Yeah, that's about it. And there's a lot of that in the second book, or it's starting. Like, I'm at a point where you're starting to see it, because it's like, the author's really good. She leaves you crumbs of that, and then all of a sudden it's like the main event.
Mm-hmm. I love it when they do that, a slow build-up.
And I picked up the second one now, because I also have the third one, and the fourth one is coming out. The last book is coming out in December, and I want to finish.
You want to be ready to read them all.
I want to be ready to finish, because apparently I was told that the second one, the last one is... like the people who have had the opportunity to read it already have said that it's like it will alter everything, or it
wow.
really do. So I'm just like,
okay.
I'm really excited. So
that's really
if you
high
like
stakes.
if you like a really good story, very well written, very complex characters, a lot of morally gray, I will admit, without giving too much away. This whole thing starts with a character who is Faye, being essentially bonded against her will to a member of the legacy. So the legacy are descendants of gods, and the Fae are their servants. So essentially every legacy member, especially like the royal families or the heirs, get a source, which is a Fae, that they kind of like bond with. And that source means that essentially the legacy doesn't have to use their own energy to fight, or they use the source. They use the Fae's energy or the Fae's power as their own. So, and the story starts with our main protagonist being forced into a bond that she does not want. So there is a lot of what is happening. There is no consent here, but there's nothing, like the male protagonist is not a horrible person either. he's very morally gray, but he has ulterior motives as to why he did this. There's a grander plan at play. So, like, but these are things that you find out as you're going. So, like, at first you don't know any of that, and you're just very frustrated.
I remember when you were reading the first book, because we were sharing a hotel room, and you were so angry for the first, like, 2/3 of the book.
Yes.
And she'd read a bit, and then she'd put it down, and she'd explain to me viscerally why she was so angry with what was happening. And I'm like, I was going to read this book, but maybe I shouldn't. And then you got to the end, and you were like, you should read this book. And I was like, what?
Honestly,
the face that just
it's
happened?
just, like I said, it's like the you said it right, like, it's cathartic, because, like, that last bit, you just go, like, it's like, it's a punch in the gut. It took me 10 months, and it's not because I didn't want to read it. I would look at it in my bookshelf and go, like, I want to read you, but I'm scared. And then I started reading it, like, why did I wait so long? And now I'm, like, all over it, and I want to read, like, 3 and 4 right away. But, again, there are moments where I still feel that rage, even in the second book, even with all I know. Yeah. But it's still like, because we're not there yet.
So what you're saying is, if you choose, audience, to read this book,
just be aware.
Emotionally prepare yourself.
You will be damaged emotionally.
For a lot of feelings, good and bad.
Emotional damage.
It will be a roller coaster, but I really think it's worth the ride. I mean, for me, again, if you, like, but you have to hold on, because it's one hell of a ride, especially the first one. Like, when it comes to, like, that anger. Like, the second one is not as bad because a lot of things are already in place. But the first one, you're like, what is happening right now? And, yeah. So those are my, this is why I need the nonfiction. This is why I need the financial book to just...
You need something grounding.
Well, also,
back to
because
earth.
I am very much a financial nerd for anybody who knows me. So, I should say a personal finance nerd. So I'm not really into investing, but I'm very much into... like personal finance, how to budget and how to organize and this is what this book is all about. So my mind is, these book choices are catering to my intellectual mind in both different, spheres.
In different ways, yeah.
Different ways.
That's so fun. You have a little bit of A, a little bit of B.
That's my dork.
I love it.
How dorky.
How dorky.
Very much.
And you're knitting out of your little spinner.
Yes.
Which is super so cute. Fun.
Which somebody in the, at knit night, last time I was there, or two days, or the 2 last times, sent me a message because they saw it and they were like, I want to get one. Nice. So I told them where to get it.
It's so smooth. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Although I literally had to go back on the Twist website to find out, because I remember exactly where the vendor was, but I didn't remember like the name, and then I found it.
When you enter into the gymnasium,
yeah,
is it not stamped on the bottom? They don't mark all their stuff.
No. Well, there's the mark, but I wouldn't know.
The logo.
Like, it's the logo, but I was like, I don't know what it is. So essentially, I went and I found it. So hopefully, I got. Nice. I got them, somebody to buy their product, because I honestly, I want to buy more.
Yeah?
I feel like I should have one for work. This is the smaller one, so it's more portable, and then they have bigger ones, so I could get the bigger one for, like, the house or whatever.
Nice. Yeah.
So.
That's really helpful, too, because when you have a yarn that is lightly plied, like, I know, like, your single, for example, here is very lightly plied.
Mm-hmm.
If you take from lightly the middle... lightly spun. When you take from the middle of the ball, it often overspins, and then it starts getting kinky and accordion-y. Yeah. And it's so annoying, and it also makes your stitches less even, like more like thick and thin, because of the extra twist that you're putting into it. So that's actually a really good way to improve the texture of your stockinette if you're knitting from the outside of the ball. But knitting from the outside of the ball is so annoying because it's flipping around in your bag.
But that's the thing. But it's funny because I've never actually knit from the inside.
Oh, I do it
even before I had this. I've always done outside.
That's okay.
Even when I didn't have this, and now that I have it, I'm like, oh look, my life is better.
Oh look, improvement, life improvement.
Pretty
you know
much.
what I'm thinking about right now? Like,
your dork?
Well, yes, but also
trying to keep us all on track here.
I'm thinking about a DIY version of that, where what if I were to reuse the empty tube of the paper towels,
Mm-hmm.
wind my ball around it, and then
Okay.
put the tube on the paper towel holder.
Yep.
Oh! I think that could work.
You say
It's
that.
just
Oop,
not.
that's my phone.
Is the only thing is that the paper towel holder
Bonjour,
needs to
Alex.
somehow. Bonjour, Alex.
Hey!
The paper towel holder is not very heavy.
But babes, I have to show you what my friend Olivia sent me a photo of because it is literally exactly what you're speaking of.
Oh, fantastic.
So we're not the first, or you are not the
Oh,
first one.
okay. Oh,
So
she
she's
made
doing
it out
for
of
s-
cardboard.
But she did it for her spindles, right?
Oh.
Does somebody else want to stand up? Because I don't really
I
want to stand
do,
up.
yeah.
But
I'll do that.
so my friend Olivia sent me this photo of what she does on her drop spindles, where she creates these like liners so that she can just take them off without having to wind them. I feel like you could just create something similar, and then you could use it on your drop spindle. You could use it with your balls of yarn. They'd be multi-purpose.
But how does she get them to stick to the table? Because what I'm thinking is by pulling the yarn.
Oh, well, I guess in that case, if she's attached it to her drop spindle, you could just have the drop spindle standing up in like a bottle or something. I don't know.
I understand. Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
Or you can get like paper towel rolls that are meant to spin.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah,
So you can
that's
get a paper
true.
towel holder.
I'm just thinking, how can I still have this but not bring additional stuff into my house? I'm swimming in stuff.
Well, what about those yarn spinners? You've got them.
the?
Yeah, just hang them off of something.
Oh my god, you're so smart. You're so smart. That's exactly what I should do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I bet you could probably hook one up to hang from the
In
plant
this
there.
plant right here.
Yeah.
There
You're
we go.
so smart.
You know, just a thought. Just a
I
thought.
mean, yeah, I'm gonna give that a try. In the meantime, I have my McDonald's solution, which
Okay.
I will show you. So we love McDonald's, and there isn't a close one here. So often we will order McDonald's, and when you do, in order for your drinks to be delivered, they give you this cardboard holder that is like a cardboard cup holder.
Yeah,
so
pretty great.
It's just a cardboard box with 2 holes, and that's where your like Coca-Cola comes in. So I am currently working on a color work kerchief, the Pressed Flowers kerchief by
Amy Christoffers of Savory Knitting.
Amy Christoffers of Savory Knitting. Thank you. And because I don't want my balls of yarn that are so precious to me to roll around and get covered in dog hair,
And why are they precious to you?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I've put them in here, and I'm loving this color work solution because they're not getting tangled. They're not like flipping around. I can set them, and it's a flat surface, so
And
they're
it makes
not
sense
moving.
that you're picking from the middle in this case.
And they were the perfect size for the 50-gram balls that I have. 60.
They are made of...
Oh, okay. I'm getting to that.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm starting my dork with my K. I am knitting the, like I said, pressed flowers.
Crod. You're doing the crod.
I'm doing the kerchief, and I only have 2 flowers now, but this is gonna be a lot more. Up and down. Bye, sweetie. My partner's leaving. And I'm making this out of a I want to say dopamine cast on because I just got obsessed with this, and I couldn't wait to finish up another project to cast this on because I want to have it on me now.
Because it's so soft.
This is 2 skeins of yarn that are the most luxurious fiber I've ever worked with in my life. And this was an intentional purchase that I took savings out for because it was also some of the most expensive yarn that I've ever bought for myself. I do not regret it one bit.
No, you've been thinking about it for a year.
I've been thinking about it for a year. So, for those of you that know her, Wei Ten from
Sasky & Co.
Is doing some pop-ups around kind of sovereign to her, Canada. And a year ago, she was here at our one of our yarn stores that we frequent, and I went, and she had multiple hanks of hand-dyed Qiviut fiber. Qiviut has been on my list of one to knit with since I moved to Canada, essentially, like 10 years ago, because I learned about it. It is specific to the Arctic, and it is made out of the undercoat that is naturally shed by the Arctic musk ox. The musk ox is not a domesticated animal. Mm-hmm. They are ginormous, beautiful beasts, and they roam the Arctic, and there is no way for them to be sort of corralled and sheared. Mm-hmm. But their undercoat, not their coarse hair, but their undercoat is so warm, so soft, long stapled, and light as a feather. Mm-hmm. And it keeps them warm in the Arctic, so we know that it works for them at least. So what the people of the Arctic Circle will do is they will go on treks and excursions and pick tufts of the shedded undercoat of the muskox out of branches, brambles, rocks, etc., wherever it might have fallen, and they have to do this at a very specific time of the year and be very lucky, because if it gets covered in snow, the fiber gets buried, frozen, and ruined, right? So then the following spring it would have started to decompose, and so it wouldn't they wouldn't be able to use it for spinning fiber. Mm-hmm. So I thought that is worth the price. Mm-hmm. For me, that is a hank of Qiviut is worth the price.
I mean, think of the amount of work and luck that had to...
It has to be picked by hand.
Yeah.
It has an element of randomness and luck as well, and also care for the environment, because these are naturally shedded fibers from a wild animal. Yeah. It is respectfully and sustainably harvested from the wild and mixed with other fibers, in this case silk and merino, to create this fabulously warm, luxurious, soft yarn.
She fancy.
So a year ago I saw it, I thought about it, and I decided that I wasn't going to get it. And I regretted that the moment we left.
You've been talking about it for...
The moment we left the yarn store, I was like, should I go back and get it? I felt like I didn't feel good about my decision. But I thought, you know what? Maybe it just wasn't the time. But yesterday, Wei Chen from Saskico was back in Ottawa at a different yarn store, and we went to get... I wanted to get her new book, and I did. And she had Qiviut again. And I bought it. And it is fabulous. And I love it. So, of course, I'm so excited to knit with it. I couldn't wait to, ball it up and, wind it up and start casting something on. And I had the pressed flowers, handkerchief on my to-do list. Mm-hmm. And this is the perfect opportunity for me to... Give it a go.
Give it a go.
Stop. Our friend Alex in the chat has made the pressed flowers before, and I'm obsessed.
It's so nice.
It is so nice. It's a 1x1
it's
mosaic with some stockinette motifs, simple flower motifs in here. They're so addictive to make. And they're so easy, and I don't even have to check the pattern anymore. After doing one, you kind of
it's intuitive.
Get it. It clicks, and you just do it.
Nice.
It's so nice. I will say, this is a free pattern, so I didn't feel bad about making a couple of modifications. The first one, I wasn't liking the edges because this is leaving you with just a twisted edge on one side where you're going back and forth with one color and then twisting to change to the other, and on the other side it was just the garter stitch edge, because this is the mosaic is in garter stitch. I wasn't loving that it was not the same on both sides. So what I did is I cast it on 2 additional stitches, and I'm making an edge stitch. Sorry.
Like a slip stitch kind of scenario?
I'm making a slip stitch edge so that it's a little bit more consistent on both sides. So I'll show you. This is what it looks on one side, kind of a little braided, and this is the other side where there isn't where there isn't a color change. So the side where there isn't a color change is a little bit looser. But it looks, in my opinion, way more consistent.
It's so pretty.
So I'm really happy with it. I have to kind of think about it a little bit more when I'm doing the edge, because it's not in the pattern, so I have to account for that every time I'm counting stitches.
Have you thought about putting like a stitch marker before them, just as like a visual cue to be like, oh yeah, that's
a good point. I hadn't thought about that, but I might consider that. Yeah. We'll see. Maybe I'll just like get used to working with it, and it'll become second nature. But yeah, I tried it with
like an I-cord?
With an I-cord, with a 3-stitch I-cord. I didn't like it. It just changes the texture of the edge way too much.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be nicer if the edge was the same thickness as the rest of the work. So I think the slip stitch edge is gonna work out okay.
Yeah.
Question from the chat: are you doing a certain size, or are you using the weight to almost half and decreasing? I'm gonna work it by weight. Again, because this fiber is so precious, I want to use as much of it as possible. Unfortunately, the hanks, because they are handmade and hard processed, are not exactly the same weight. So the red one has 59 grams, and the pink one has 64 grams. It's a minimal difference, so that it does mean I'm gonna have a little bit of pink left over.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'll figure out what I want to do with it at the end. Maybe I'll do some ties or something.
Yeah.
But because I chose the red one to be my main color, and it's the one that I have the least of, I'm going to just work it until I have exactly half.
Yeah, so just under 30 grams, like 28, 29 grams.
Yeah, just under 30 grams, and then I'm going to start the decreasing portion.
I did that with a shawlette a while ago. I knit till I had 50% of the yarn left, and then decreased, and then I ended up having yarn left over. I found decreasing actually uses slightly less yarn. Why? I don't know. So you'll definitely
That's interesting.
not have to, well, I mean, I guess it's depending on people's gauges and whatever.
Sure.
And like the way you knit, but you might not have to worry about yarn chicken then.
That's okay. And because this is mosaic, I don't think it would be a big deal if I were to just like supplement with a different pink, or it's not the end of the
right
world.
At the very end. Yeah.
It'll be right at the very end, and so I'm happy to take the risk. So that's what I'm knitting. I'm very pleased with it, and it's going, I want to say, enjoyably fast.
Nice. Well, it's like a DK weight.
You're
so
making me want to.
It's exactly a DK weight.
You're making me want to pick it up again, because that's one of the projects that I stopped to start making this. It's not the. This is the. Which one
That's
is
the
this?
kerchief.
Kerchief.
So
So the
you
one
picked
I
a
was
cowl.
making is the cowl.
Oh.
Right. So
And the pattern's so like, I don't know. It's just fun.
I'm like obsessed with touching it.
Yeah, feel free to touch it. It's so cute.
It's so soft. The Qiviut.
The knitting experience is really good. Very potato chippy. Very addictive for sure.
I literally went on Nunavut Qiviut website and to see all the yarn they have and the colors, and I'm like, okay, yeah.
Don't be alarmed by the prices.
Oh no, I already know the prices.
Yeah.
They have a selection of Arctic Fox and Arctic Hare lace and DK yarn.
I know that's
Fancy.
that's next on the list for sure.
Yeah. I'm starting to look for Christmas gifts for
yourself?
For myself, yeah, but also like for I already know what I'm getting for Linda. She's the easiest to buy from, and I'm pretty sure I know what I'm getting for my partner. I'm still like debating.
The Qiviut reminds you of gifts?
No. Well, it's just because this is on my list of what I would like to ask somebody. Like, hey, if you don't know what, like, if
Absolutely.
this could be a gift for me just once, Kate.
Yeah.
Kind of deal.
I feel some type of way about it though, because I know it's coming from the Arctic. And I know through my work experience how expensive and carbon intensive it is to transport things from the north to here and backward. So I feel some type of way about ordering Qiviut to be delivered to me. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm just a person. If I don't find it, if I'm not there and I can pick it up and use my own transportation carbon emission to bring it, then I won't have it. So for me, this was a perfect opportunity because Wei Chen was here. And she was bringing it down. She was bringing it with her. It wasn't like something that she shipped to be like, you know, like consigned at a store. Like, and it was like her personal carry-on or shop, you know?
Yeah.
And so I felt good about like using that opportunity to buy it because otherwise, where would you find it here?
Or maybe
from somebody
available.
who would import it, and it would be way more expensive.
It would be more expensive.
Or maybe I'm just gonna wait till a certain friend of ours decides to go back up north, and because he said, "Oh, maybe you can come with me," and then I'll be like,
I did go with him last time. Our friend Pete works for a.
So he has to go up north for work, like once or twice every year or two.
At least once a year, he has to go to
Qiviut and beyond.
And I did go with him, and we did go looking for yarn stores.
Did it?
And they did not have
But I remember you saying as well...
It's not the region.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
So you can't get it in Qiviut. You'd have to go to a different part of the country.
Somewhere else.
That's right.
To purchase
They're not... Muskox are not everywhere in the Arctic. I don't remember what...
And Canada's Great White North is
region.
Pretty giant, so...
It is great, for sure. And it is very north. So when Pete and I were in Qiviut, we could not find Qiviut anywhere because that's not the region where they produce it. We would have to go to the other edge of the Arctic.
Like Yukon
or Northwest Territories.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were over here in Nunavut.
Yeah.
And Muskox live over here in the Northwest.
So if you ever get up to Yellowknife or White
If you ever
Horse
go
or
to
Dawson
White
City,
Horse,
Yellowknife.
bring me back Qiviut.
Actually,
I'll
I
send
really...
you $200.
I would 100% go visit there.
Me too.
I've been thinking about it for a few years of just like doing
I will
a little,
show you
like,
some pictures of where Wei Chen lives because her book Arctic Nicks has
mind-blowing.
Beautiful
It's so
photography of the region where she lives, and it makes me
is
want
that
to go
what
there
you're
so
reading
hard.
this week? Is that the R in your book?
I already read it.
Just trying to keep us on track here, guys.
I know.
It's almost 2:00.
We are so all over the place on this stream, but I think that's okay. Alex says, I think there's a mill in Alberta near Edmonton that has indigenously owned Qiviut. Wow. That's fantastic. I want to know that. If you can put the link in the chat,
that would be amazing, yeah.
Love to explore that and give them my patronage. So these are Wei Chen's two books. I got this one last year and this one yesterday when she was here in the pop-up. And they're so beautifully photographed and edited, and the patterns are gorgeous. Fantastic. I think these make up for really nice coffee table books as well, even if you don't knit. I want to show you some of the pictures that she took.
I love the little message she left in.
I know.
What did she write?
She's such a sweetheart. She's like, it was so good to see you again. So good to see you again. I hope you enjoy this very speedy book. It's just really cute.
She's so sweet.
She's such a sweetheart.
Sweet.
Very sweet, and I love her patterns as well. Look at this picture. This is where she lives. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
That's where she lives.
Look at this. Look at this. Oh my god.
If you ever get the chance to travel into the Arctic, and it could be the Arctic anywhere in the world. Take it. It is so beautiful.
Like it's mind blowing how beautiful.
Look at this. Look at the paysage. It's beautiful. So I'm looking at the back of the book, and it looks like she does live in Qiviut.
Yeah.
I don't know where the Qiviut that she sourced is from then, but I feel much better about her bringing it back here than me ordering it online. Look at that picture. Isn't that fantastic? So
look at all the bunnies.
I want to visit more of the north for sure.
Oh, I think like that's been on my bucket list for years. My mom, because of her work, my mom used to work for Canada Day celebrations, and every year, because she was the financial lady, they would have their like yearly meeting in a different province or territory.
Right.
So she, through her career, has been to every province
And territory
in Canada.
That's fantastic. What a great opportunity.
And like she'd bring me back something every single time.
Aww.
So I from Yukon, she actually brought me back a little like it's like a souvenir of like $3. I don't know. It's like one of those shot glasses that has like little specks of gold in there, kind of deal. But I still have it at home because this was years ago. But she saw Aurora Borealis. Like she had such a great time, and I'm sitting over like, why am I not going there? I feel like we tend to always go like, let's go south. Well, it's always better, but
it's
like
because it is actually. And this is so frustrating. It's
it
actually
is.
cheaper for Canadians to travel internationally than it is to travel domestically.
Yeah.
Because the way the airlines are structured and the way the infrastructure exists, that's just the way of it. It's
Unless
just
you have
cheaper
to
for
go
us
there
go.
for work, in which case most northern companies have subsidies for travel, so they can do it at a less expensive price. My friend Duncan, who is my dungeon master on our D&D campaign, often has to go up north for his work. He's a geologist. So it's really cool that like every couple of weeks or every month or so he'll send us a picture of him in the north, and it's like the Aurora Borealis is not even impressive for him.
Yeah,
It's
he's just like,
an annoyance.
He's like, it's a normal
just a
Tuesday.
Wednesday,
Like,
yeah.
it's just a Tuesday.
The sky's lighting up again. But the pictures that he takes are so beautiful, and it allows me to live vicariously through him.
I learned this not too long ago. I don't know how, like, don't quote me on this, but apparently there is not a rumor, but like legend or whatever, that Japanese people, if they consummate their love under an Aurora Borealis, a emperor will be born. So there's a lot of tourists who come to the northern areas of Canada for the sole purpose of seeing Aurora Borealis, to be the fathers or mothers or
Talk about an aphrodisiac.
That's kind of. I don't know how true this is. I heard this somewhere, and I was like, I mean, if it brings them here, like, good for them. But
That is.
It's funny you say that because I read a hockey romance book earlier this summer.
Of course you did.
Come on.
So,
of course I did.
hockey and romance.
I mean,
You had your name all over
It was literally titled Canadian Boyfriend. And there's this whole
yeah, I saw that one.
whole scene, this whole thing where like the two characters, they go camping and to see the aurora. And
shenanigans ensue.
And
bada bing,
shenanigans.
bada boom.
Shenanigans
Bada
ensue.
boom.
And it was just really funny to me. Anyway, to circle back. Jenny, what are you drinking? What is your outfit? What are you reading?
I fully finished my drink. It was a lovingly made latte. My brother Mike made it for me. He put a little cinnamon in the milk when he steamed it, and it was delightful. And the right amount of caffeine for me.
Nice.
Second cup.
Beautiful.
It was really good, and now I'm a little thirsty for water, but we'll think about that later. My outfit is thrifted, Torrid, Uniqlo, and handmade Thickmas socks.
Nice.
This
The
is
whole shebang.
the whole shebang.
The Thickmas socks by...
Yeah, the Thickmas I think maybe it's the Thicksgiving instead of Thicksgiving.
Yeah, by Summer Lee.
By Summer Lee.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's the Thicksgiving. Really fun, heathered technique. You hold two strands of sock yarn together to get to a DK weight. And because the leg is kind of shorter, not quite a sport, like not a chaussette, but also not a long leg, you are done in, like a whiff. You blink and you miss it.
Yeah. I mean, you can make them as long as you want, but...
Yeah. These were my Betwixtmas project from a couple of years ago.
Nice.
And if you don't know, Betwixtmas is the couple of days between Christmas and New Year's.
The time for
where
sloth.
you are confused, sleepy, full of cheese.
So much cheese.
And just unaware of what time it is all day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
It's glorious.
At Can3 says the Qiviut yarn that Wei Chen sourced is from Greenland. Oh, that's so fun. Thank you for putting that in the chat.
Yeah, we were there too.
We were there too.
Did we see you? We were there around maybe 2:15.
Did we rub elbows? Did we rub elbows?
I got a little polar bear porcelain ornament that she had. And I'm very excited too. I don't do Christmas trees because I don't like decorating, but I'm very excited to like hang it on my wall.
You don't do Christmas trees?
No. Okay. Am I now gonna be the one tangenting before the dork? I don't like decorating for the holidays because I personally don't think it makes sense financially to buy decorations that are up for 1 month of the year and then in storage for 11.
Totally fair.
I also find with the over commercialization of holidays that are out there, that going out into the world, I get overwhelmed by the holiday cheer, the decorations, the whatever. I don't hate the holidays. I love the holidays. I just need a break from the capitalism of it all.
That's fair.
So I
That's
like
very
coming
fair.
home to like a home that isn't like during Halloween. I love going out and I love seeing the decorations and the leaves and hearing the like that's great. But I also like being able to come back and like sitting where it's not that. You know?
Yeah.
So
no, I can understand.
don't decorate for the holidays.
We haven't decorated in a few years because of the cats.
Yeah.
And we would be away.
We did see you.
There we go.
Hello.
Yay.
And this year's the first year we're actually.
Oh my God, Margot!
Is it Margot?
It's Margot. We just didn't
Margot.
recognize your handle. That's so funny.
Hi, Margot.
Love the new glasses, by the way. They look
Oh,
fantastic.
yes.
Fantastic. Anyway, yes. So
I love decorating for Christmas.
I
like
haven't
the
done it in a
lights.
few
I like
years.
the
The first
But
year
I'll
I'm
tell you
doing
what,
it.
I love decorating for Christmas, but I also love making my own decorations for Christmas. So for me, it's an activity more than a purchase opportunity.
Yeah.
But anyway, that side track
Sorry about it.
done.
Yeah.
My outfit is done. What am I reading? I'm gonna continue reading Wei Chen's book.
Mm-hmm.
But I just finished reading a fantastic, not just last week. I finished reading a fantastically tense murder mystery book on Libby
I remember you
called The Frozen River by Ariel Lawhon. Lawhon?
Lawhon?
Lawhon.
Lawhon?
Ariel Lawhon. It is
Yeah, there you go.
incredible. I believe it was someone from Knit Night that recommended this to me. Here's what the cover looks like. The Frozen River.
I think you mentioned it the last time we streamed.
Yes, I was almost at the end of it.
Ah.
And I now know who the murderer was.
Was it the butler in the library with a wrench?
And it is not who you think. The twist
Love
at
that.
the end
Love that.
was so well done. And when you finally receive all the information, it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. I really like this book. I will say it was hard for me to listen to because I had forgotten that it had trigger warnings.
Okay.
And there is violence against women.
Okay.
And I was not fully ready for that. It kind of caught me by surprise because I jumped into the book without knowing what it was about because that's what I love to do. But I'll be more careful in the future so that I can be like emotionally prepared for it. So it took me on an emotional ride, kind of like yours, where I was like, angry, sad, like irritated.
Feelings.
Like, yeah, I had like, I was like cursing the patriarchy at every page. It was a very enjoyable book regardless of that. If you like tension and mysteries and a whodunit.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, and it's narrated from the point of view of a woman who is actually a real person. And so this book is inspired by the author Ariel Lawhon coming across mention of this midwife from the 1800s and reading through her journals.
Ooh.
Interesting.
And so the book is she sort of imagined what this woman would have been like, and that's what she wrote. Essentially wrote fan fiction about a real person.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think she did a fantastic job. I really liked the richness of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Every character had a little something, even if they weren't on scene for a long time. I found that it was just very wholesome, not very wholesome, very fulsome in terms of the lore and the exposure to the context that we are giving. It paints a really clear picture of where these people live and the political tensions that are... Hello, Barnita. The political tensions that are at play. And it's just real nice to read a tense challenge or mystery that has a satisfactory result at the end. I won't say it's a happy ending because it isn't, but it's a satisfactory wrap up.
Okay.
So I do recommend it if you are not affected by that trigger.
Read the trigger warnings and
if
decide for yourself.
you can handle that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think, I don't know a lot of people who would not be affected by it, but some are more equipped than others to handle it.
Sorry, I got lost in her thought.
Yeah, I don't know if the word handle it is the right word. I think it's more that you are at a place in your life
where you can
process it.
But that's
safely.
what I mean. Handle it, but in
emotionally.
Yeah.
So that is what I read. I'm now not reading any more fiction at the moment because I have a couple of books on hold that haven't come in. So I'm just gonna be reading my pattern books from Sasky Co. and maybe making some bunny squares.
Buns.
Should be fun.
Cute.
Cuddling this potato.
Nice.
Hi, little bananita.
She's so soft.
She's so
soft. But she's also like, I'm just enjoying my life. What?
Yeah.
I was happy. I was sleepy.
Like,
Look at her. She's like yawning now. She's like, I was
you
taking
have
a
so
nap.
much fur on your face.
I do.
In your lipstick.
Well, it is what it is.
It is such a
Worth
wonderful. Yeah. I was gonna say, like, it's a good price to pay.
Yeah. You smell really stinky. Like the supermarket at the end of the day.
One of my favorite things about cats is when you say something like their breath stinks.
Oh, Barnita!
Did she fart on your face?
Yes!
Oh my god, she farted. Woman!
You stinky. Sorry. Oh god.
Well done, Barnita. We call that self-defense.
Can you tell I don't have pets? Can you tell I don't have pets?
Girl.
I'm so
I just want to point out that if my cats fart, I don't know. Because I don't fucking hear it or smell it.
I'm just gonna go home. Bye, guys. See ya. No dog for me today.
Do you want to take literally a breather before your dog?
Fine.
She's so proud. Look at her.
She's not even sorry. Look at that.
No, she's not sorry.
It's okay.
Forgive
Barnita.
you just
I
this
will
once.
I will tell your human parents when they come that you successfully engaged in defensive action.
Chemical warfare.
Chemical warfare. A little terrorism in the house.
Well, then I guess we're at your dork now.
Okay, let's see. Can I do it in less time than it took the two of yous?
I mean, it took us like over an hour, so good luck.
So my drinking. I've started making milk tea at home. Like, you know, when you go to a bubble tea place and you get that, I don't make tapioca because that is
too much.
That is a lot. But I started making milk tea at home. It's just regular sugary black tea. Wonderful.
Yum, yum.
Love it. 10 out of 10. Can be made with any tea, by the way. You can do whatever you want. My outfit. So I am wearing...
socks?
I call them my Eye of Sauron socks because of the color choices I use.
Yeah. Oh, they do look like the Eye of Sauron.
I am not stretchy enough for that. But they are the Intertwined socks by Emma Janet. Her handle is Bloom Create on Instagram.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Anyway, she's great. I love them. I love them so much. I've had them for a few years and they've stood up really, really well. So very excited about that. This was the pair of socks where I learned that when I knit color work, I have to go up a needle size for the color work. Because I have a hard time getting them on my feet.
Yeah.
But they're still very cozy.
Yeah.
I am also wearing a shawl that I finished much earlier this year and showed on the pod. If I can get it off. It's so big, guys. It's so big.
This is the Ambah O'Brien, right?
Yeah, this is the Eremophila shawl.
Woo!
Like, it's humongous, right?
Look at that.
It's taking all the screen.
It's out of the screen even.
So this shawl, if I can get it on without getting more pug hair in it.
Unlikely.
Unlikely. I'm allergic to dogs and cats, guys. That's why I'm being all stick in the mud about this. Yes, I'm wearing this because I didn't want to wear a hand knit sweater today because of the pugs. But I wanted to wear something hand knit because it's snowing. Well, it's kind of stopped now, but it was snowing when I was getting ready this morning, and I was like, I want to be cozy in my knitwear.
Yeah.
So a giant shawl and a pair of hand knit socks, and I'm really happy with this shawl because I knit this one originally using an advent from Shirley Bryan Yarns, who's a local to us designer.
Yeah.
Or dyer, sorry. And I knit it exactly to pattern, and it came out much smaller. And I was wearing it one day, and my cousin was like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. And I was like, you take it. And she was like, what?
Aww.
And I was like, no, take it. I have so much yarn left. I can make another one and we can match.
Yes.
And she was like, okay, great. So I knit the second one, but instead of changing colors in the pattern where it says to change colors, I just kept knitting till I ran out of yarn.
Oh.
And so I ended up using, I used up all of the remains of that advent that I had, and I ended up doing, I think, 2 extra repeats of the chart or of the pattern just to keep going. And I am so glad I did because now it's humongous. But I love the way it looks and it feels, and it actually is really nice and there's a lot of coverage to it.
Do you remember when we met?
Mm-hmm.
One of the first things that I asked you was what do you like to knit? And you were like, I like to knit shawls, but I don't like to wear shawls.
That's changed.
Look at her now.
6 years later, growth.
Personal growth. Character development.
Development.
If you too like to knit something fun and addictive, like a shawl, but don't have the I guess the habit of wearing it, I really encourage you to just try it. Yeah. Just make one, put it on however you want to put it on. Mm-hmm. You don't have to put it over your shoulders like a granny.
Yeah.
You can wear it as a scarf. You can wear it as a Sontag. Mm-hmm. You can do whatever you want with it, and it's so nice. And bonus, if you wear it on a plane, you can use it as a blanket.
Yeah. It also becomes a talking point. I have flown in the winter with my shawlography, the Stephen West pattern. From
me too.
22, I think.
Yeah.
And I have flown wearing that shawl, and people have come up to me and they go, "Oh my god, I love that! You're a knitter, right? You must be a knitter.
You must be.
If you're wearing the shawl." And I'm like, I'm also sitting there knitting socks, so it's like, oh yes, I am a knitter. Thank you for noticing.
It takes one to know one.
And so, there was this one time I went down to Toronto. I was traveling to visit family. My cousin and I were on the train. I was sitting in the aisle, and I look up the aisle, and I just see this the corner of a shawl hanging down off of a woman's leg and kind of poking into the aisle. And I was like,
girl.
I'm I know that pattern. I know that pattern. And I would kept checking over the course of the ride, and at one point she shifted, and it was fully off of her leg and cascading down, and so you could see it, and it was the most beautiful pink orange, burnt orange, brown cream colored shawlography. It was incredible, and I kind of want to make something in that color palette now.
Green orange?
It was pink, burnt orange, a nice brown, and then a cream. That was the color palette.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds lovely.
That sounds like perfect fall color scheme.
Yeah, it was incredible. And I just I could see it draping off of her leg, and I was like, do I get up and say something? But she was sleeping by that point, by the time I was able to identify which pattern it was. And I was like, I'm not going to bother her. That's a little weird.
I think she would have welcomed that comment.
Yeah, I tried to catch up with her as we were getting off the train, but she was moving way too fast.
Yeah, okay, don't go following people.
I was like, no. I wouldn't want somebody to be like that.
Yeah, no,
so.
Yeah. But so I make an effort to recognize knitters in the wild.
Yeah.
Because I know for me, it's a thing of pride to wear your things out that in public that you made with your hands.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if I see you and I recognize that you have a handmade item, I'm going to comment on it and praise you for it.
Truly.
Which is how we made a friend yesterday. At an ice cream shop in Ottawa South. Yeah. We're ordering our ice cream, and this group of people comes in, and among them is one woman that's wearing a beautifully handmade sweater.
It was a porcelain sweater.
It was a porcelain... Was it?
It was the porcelain sweater.
It was a porcelain sweater, but she didn't do it in blue. She made it in
green.
a rust
dark
like
green.
a rusty something green.
It was like a heathered green.
Oh, okay.
It was
Yeah. It was so good. And I complimented her. She introduced herself. 2 minutes later, she had joined our knitting group. We'll see you on Thursday,
It's
Veronica.
not a cult,
It's
but
not a
it
cult.
is a little bit of a cult.
I
But don't
think
worry, we don't ask for money.
I was gonna say, doesn't there need to be a fee for it to truly be a cult?
There needs to be like one of those like hypnotic leaders type
Yeah.
thing.
Well,
We don't meet all of the descriptions
You
of a
want
cult.
to knit. You are very, very skilled at knitting.
Or crocheting,
That
or
just sounds
embroidery,
like
or
you're
weaving,
casting a
or
spell.
tatting.
Aw,
Any
damn.
of the fiber crafts, truly. But anyway, what I am reading. So October was actually a bit of a reading slump for me. Between a work trip, a fun trip, getting really sick with a really bad cold, going to a conference, and then just being essentially like in the early stages of burnout again. I just didn't read, which several people in my life pointed out. They're like, you haven't read a lot. Are you okay?
That is uncharacteristic.
Hadn't put those, I mean, yeah. Anyway, so we're starting to climb out of the slump, which is good. I'm feeling
love
better.
that.
I took the last week as like exhaustion leave to try to get my head back into place, to get some things in my life sorted out,
Yeah.
to like set me up for success as we head into the holiday season, because that's always really stressful and tiring. And I feel a lot better now than I did at the beginning of the week. I didn't realize how much of a sleep debt I was in. I slept almost all day Monday.
Oh my god.
Like, I got up for like 2 hours in the middle of the day to eat, and then I went back to sleep.
Love that for
Like,
you.
it was...
Sounds like your body
was a
really
lot.
needed that.
Yeah, you needed it.
Wow, it was a lot.
Yeah.
So that was kind of nice to be able to like take the time to take care of myself. I'm so grateful and privileged to have the benefits that come with having a full-time job. It means I do get sick leave. So, you know,
That's
woo.
excellent. So if you get sick, you can rest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as a part of that, as part of that time to like rest and recuperate, oh my god, look at her, she's so cute.
She's getting ready now to fart on Carine.
That's okay. I will take it.
Marking her territory.
Oh, what a cutie.
But I was reading, so I read one book, and I like half read it, half listened to it, because I find when I get into a slump, there are two main things I do to help me get out of a slump. Number one, listening to an audiobook really helps keep me in it, because I'm less likely to put it down.
You're
'Cause I
still
can just-
absorbing a story.
Exactly. I'm still absorbing a story. And the second is reading a romance book, because they're just instant, you have a guaranteed happy ending.
It's
low
a candy.
stakes.
It's candy.
It's candy.
It's candy.
But it's
book
perfect because
candy.
it's like I know what I'm getting myself invested in. It's not something that's going to be that is going to require me to put a lot of brain power into that I
Totally.
can simply enjoy for the sake of enjoying.
Yep.
Totally.
So I haven't started it yet, but I'll circle back around. The book that I just finished to help me get out of my slump was called Motorcycles and Sweetgrass by Drew Hayden Taylor.
Oh, I remember
It
you mentioning
is
this.
yeah. So he's an Indigenous author, and it's a story that is set on a fictional reserve named Otter Lake in like southern Ontario, probably somewhere in about the Toronto region. That was kind of what I was putting together the pieces of, or at least southern Ontario. And I can't say I understood the whole book because I'm obviously not the target audience, but it was really enjoyable to read the dynamics of the characters, the way the prose was written. It was fantastic. I would definitely recommend it. Check the trigger warnings, of course, because there is mention of residential schools and survivors and the experiences that they had and how that impacts generations coming after. But it was a beautiful read. Definitely enjoyed it.
Cool.
I then started... Barnita's like, get over yourself, Allie. Stop reading the books. No.
She's
Keep reading the
violently
books.
uninterested.
Which, honestly, fair. But I just recently started a book called... I was telling you about it, and I got the information way wrong. I was telling you about it last week.
I've been misinformed.
Very misinformed. It's called The Cemetery of Untold Stories.
Yes.
It's by Julia Alvarez, who is a Dominican writer. And it is the story of an author who, upon retirement, has all of these, like, untold stories that she didn't really know what to do with, but she decided to bury as, like, an act of, like... I'm closing up the thing. I'm not going to let them affect me going forward. So she's burying those drafts and those manuscripts of the unfinished stories.
As a way of closing her career, I guess.
But the characters don't agree with that. So the book was originally written in Spanish. I'm reading it in the English translation. But it's really well done because one thing that I really not struggle with. One thing that can become an ick for me is when I'm reading a book and it is either in translation or the characters are speaking a different language from the language the book was written in, and the words in another language are italicized, or they're othered, or they're put in such a way that it's like they stick out like a sore thumb. It's like, no, so many people code switch back and forth between multiple languages without it being a thing, right? Like you do all the time. So it's written in such a way, and then I'm also like bouncing back and forth between the audiobook and the ebook, but it's done in such a way where it's fluidly dropping in and out between English and Spanish without that italicization in the written version of it.
So refreshing.
So that it's not othered. It just is. Mm-hmm. Like these characters. So the main character, her name is Alma. Was born in Dominican Republic, moved to New York City as a child, lived in Vermont for a while during her career, and then is moving back to the Dominican Republic later in life, and she's code switching between the two languages so easily, and it's just so fluid, which I personally enjoy, and I wish we had more of in books, because the even though the book is in translation, I'm reading it in translation, the Spanish is there as part of the story. It's not an other thing.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's not like covered by the translation of the
exactly
the book. Yeah.
Exactly. They're intentionally keeping in like terms of endearment, or if they're talking about like the places that they're going, like they're using the words in Spanish in the English translation, because that's how, if these characters were speaking to each other, they would go back and forth between the languages. So
that is really nice.
I'm really enjoying that. I would definitely, I'm only like maybe 15-20% through, so it's still early days. I don't want to make recommendations yet because I don't know
if you're gonna like the rest of it.
I have a feeling I will like the rest of it, but I don't like making recommendations before I have a full accounting of what kind of content there is in the book.
Smart.
Because I would never want to be like, oh my god, I'm a third of the way through this book, you should absolutely read this book, only for it to then have content that could become extremely hurtful, unsafe and hurtful for somebody that I recommended it to. Like, I would never want that to happen. So hopefully by the time we come back in 2 weeks, I will have finished the book. And
okay.
Actually, I only have 3 days left on my library loan, so I will definitely have finished the book.
You're going to have to power through that, bud.
I'm not concerned. When my mojo is there...
I know you've got it. Yeah.
I got it.
I got it.
And then this morning, I get a ding from the library, and they're like, oh, your hold request for the new Tessa Bailey baseball romance book, it's your turn to take it out. And I was like, I bet.
I am in line at the Ottawa Library to get Larke Beggar's Knitted Out book. I think it's going to be an enjoyable experience for me. It's not too many patterns, but it's very chaotic and very, like, just pick up and knit it. Yeah. Like, that's why it's called Knit It Out. And someone at Knit Night was making one of the patterns from that book, the 3-day dress, which is not a dress that you finish in 3 days. It's a pattern that she designed when she was in a grief state after the passing of a loved one, and for 3 days she did nothing but concentrate on her knitting. And so that's how she designed this pattern. And it's the way that Jandra, who was working on it, explained it. It's very much like you just have to feel it out and knit in the round with really chunky needles and use up your stuff. Yeah. It's not meant for you to buy new yarn. It's meant for you to use different textures so that you can kind of build a story as you go in low stakes and with a fun result. So I want to see how her pattern style sits with me, because I've never knit anything from Larke Beggar. But I love her Instagram. If you guys follow her,
maybe, possibly. I follow a lot of people.
And I might not be pronouncing her name right, but it's Laerkebagger. I say Lerke Beggar. Anyway, fantastic designer, and I'm really looking forward to getting that book. I'll let you know how it goes if I ever get off the wait list, because it's kilometric.
Well, speaking of knitting, do I have a surprise for the two of you?
Oh, you do? Oh my god, let me put this
well,
away.
I mean, for starters, what am I currently knitting? Because it is pug hair safe. A pair of socks from a sock blank.
Because they're going to be washed.
Yeah. I had started out knitting them 2 at a time. I fucking hate that method.
Do you?
I can't say. It's just the way that I knit. It's just not ergonomic for me. Mm-hmm. No shade to people who enjoy it. If you love 2 at a time knitting, great. So I just stuck them on different needles and I'm knitting them tandem. I find 2 at a time knitting to be uncomfortable for myself and for my hands, and for my career longevity, I cannot be fucking around with my hands.
That is true.
So
you see these babies? They bring home the bacon.
Truly, I actually just got bacon from the grocery store the other day. So they literally bring home the bacon. No. This is something which I have talked about. This is something which you guys saw my part 1 of on the pod earlier this year.
Oh my god, I think I know what it is.
What are you going to guess?
Do you want to guess?
Go for it.
I think it's your Diep sweater.
I think you are correct. And it's my... I'm spinning. We'll come back to that. It is my Doppio sweater.
Oh,
the one.
Doppio.
Okay, so this is yours.
Yeah.
Not
so,
yours. Okay.
For context, earlier this year, I knit a light version, like a light colored, it's like eucalyptus-y version of this sweater for my sister. Because I wanted to do like a yin and yang, light and dark.
Yeah.
One for her, one for me. And on Sunday...
And hers was the light one?
Hers was the light one, because she likes the neutrals.
And yours is the vampy moody one?
Mine is the vampy moody one, which, perfectly enough, I cast on while watching Frankenstein with Alex.
Oh, fantastic.
So...
Don't tell me anything, I'm not done the movie. Oh my freaking god. Can I squish?
Absolutely.
Oh,
I just want to squish this part.
Oh, it's so
I'm not going to
luscious.
knit on it because the amount of pug hair is wow.
It's overwhelming.
But, so I'm knitting this with... So I have... This is Explorer Knits and Fibers. This is a fingering weight. This is Coop Knits. It's a commercial sock yarn. It's a fingering weight.
So 2 fingering together.
2 fingering. And then this last one here is a Surrey weight from Jelaine.
Ooh,
which is
Surrey.
I think they're based in Montreal.
Uh-huh.
And it is... Honestly, I'm crying. I started this on Sunday.
You are so far
less than
into
a week.
it.
That's crazy.
Less than a week.
This is a fantastic surprise. I'm delighted.
So
I've
nice.
already used up 1 50-gram ball of the teal blue. So I just wound up my second ball today.
This is 3 strands together.
3 strands together. 6mm needle. You fly through this project.
Well, yeah.
I am obsessed. I'm only 8 rows from the sleeve separation, but because I have Christmas knitting on the go, I'm not going to attach the next ball of the teal until I have achieved a certain point in some of my Christmas knitting.
Okay.
Because there were nights this week where I knit this, and I didn't knit those Christmas socks.
There were nights of endless pleasure.
But this is, if you've never heard of the Doppio sweater before... This is a top-down raglan sweater, and you can make it with faux seams. You can make it without the faux seams.
I love the seams.
Knits up on a 6mm needle so fast. I'm gonna make mine cropped and fitted, whereas my sister, I made hers long and loose because that's the style of sweater she likes.
She prefers.
And I can't wait. This is also so the one that I made for my sister. I used like maybe 230-ish grams of one fingering weight, like 230-ish grams of the other fingering weight, and then like 105 grams of the mohair. So like you could...
Wow, that's really economical.
You could pop into your stash and be like, depending on which size you need, you'd only need like 2 or 3 skeins of like a fingering weight each. Or you can make it scrappy. There was a bunch of people I saw who've made it where they did the cuffs and the hem and the collar in a different color.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
So you could do that too. Or I saw somebody who did it like faded, where they had a whole bunch of mohair scraps.
Yeah.
And so they just changed out the mohair as they went down and it faded. Like,
I was going to say, like, because mohair is usually such big yardage when you get the ball, that can be your connecting thread literally throughout if you change up the sock yarn along the way.
Yeah.
So think, nice.
I think when
You're making me want to make one.
I think you should.
It's on my list.
When I finish this one, I think what I might do in the new year, I won't do it right away, but in the new year I might go through and pull a whole bunch of my scraps, because I have a whole bunch of leftover like mohair and stuff in blues and greens.
Yeah.
And I might see if I can put together some sort of like blue to green fade.
Oh, that's fun.
Of mohair and fingering weight bits and bobs and do that.
Yeah.
But I might also just like slowly collect bits and bobs over the next, I don't know, we'll see. But I think that could be fun.
I see you have your spindle on hand.
I thought this might be worth talking about.
You wanna tell Carine what we've been doing?
Yeah. So a couple of weeks ago, the Ottawa Valley Weavers and Spinners Guild held their annual showcase. And Anahí and I went with our friend Pete, and we were walking around, and there was so much beautiful yarn and fiber for sale, and we were in one booth, and we were talking with the proprietor of that shop. She had the most beautiful bats, colored fiber, just gorgeous. And we're like, oh my god, I want this, blah, 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 blah. But we're like, oh, we need to spin more.
Because we're
we
really
just
not good. I don't consider
novices.
myself good enough to tackle some of the more intimidating fibers, right? Like, it's easy to knit with a certain preparation of wool. But what she had was what I considered to be advanced preparation of wool.
So she had some beautiful bats that had like silk in them and like merino blends, which are beautiful but are like much more slippery and fine than a Corriedale, which is what beginners are recommended to start with. So we're sitting in there and we're like, oh man, we want to get up to that level where we can like spin this kind of stuff. And she says, it's just practice. Like if you practice for 10 minutes every day, in a month, you'll be so much more confident and you would feel comfortable starting with one of these fibers.
But she specifically said, but you have to practice every day, at least 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. So what did we do? We immediately looked at each other and we're like, challenge?
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 30-day challenge?
Challenge.
30-day challenge?
Challenge accepted.
And it was like the 2nd of November. So it really wasn't that, it was the 1st of November.
It was the 1st of
It
November.
was the 1st of November. So we're like, oh, it's literally the first day of the month. Like this is meant to be.
And you and I had taken
a spinning class last year
together.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it that time, and then I decided to go a little bit extra and try different kinds of spindles, because we learned on these guys, which are drop spindles, like bottom whirl drop spindles. And so I tried top whirled spindle, I tried a Turkish spindle,
the supported ones?
And then I moved on last year to a supported spindle, but it wasn't consistent. I was just experimenting with them and watching a lot of Jillian Eves videos.
Love her.
And I hadn't really made it a part of my usual textile practice to spin.
Yep.
So this was it was a really fun challenge for me to receive.
Still ongoing.
So egg us on, because we still have half of November to go.
So we had, when we did the class last year, we received I don't know if bump is the right word when it comes to roving, a braid maybe? We'd received a whole bunch of Corriedale roving undyed. Then we also received a ball of roving that is dyed as well. And I had fiber that I had purchased elsewhere. I have a lot of fiber in my home, even though I don't spin yet. I'm spinning now. Now I'm ready. Vindication. So I was like, okay, this was the one we started with on the class. It had already been started. I had all the fiber prepped, or so I thought. And let's go. And so I started spinning what I had. And a couple of people, because we were posting it in stories as well that we were doing this, a couple of people very kindly jumped into my DMs with some advice and recommendations, which turned out to be game-changing. Like, thank you, Allison, for saying that double drafting your roving makes it a lot easier.
Which I do that now.
Double pre-drafting your roving makes it a lot easier to drap when you're spinning.
So much
You
smoother.
were so right. It was so much smoother, so much more of a comfortable experience to do that. And I could sit for longer spinning if I had double pre-drafted.
Yeah, because you weren't putting as much force into it, right?
So I finished my first thing of roving. I turned it into a center pull ball, and then I plied it. And now I have...
Look at this beautiful plied yarn.
Really
I have this. The beginning of it, underneath, inside the cob, is bouncy, right? And as I was going through it, I was like, am I spinning this enough? Am I not spinning this? And then I would experiment with like putting some extra twist in it.
That's
and I was
the
like,
only way to get better.
oh, that's how it needs more twist. So I think the beginning of this is very underspun. But when I got to the end, I think I'm kind of right where I need to be.
Fantastic.
So I'm going to let this sit on the spindle for like a week. And then I'm going to turn it into a hank and soak it.
Is that necessary? Do we need to let it rest?
A couple of the things that I read was like, yeah, leave your, like, if you're plying from singles, like, let them sit for a little bit of time to rest before you ply them. I didn't. I waited less than 24 hours.
Ha ha ha.
But letting them rest helps them set because there's so much energy in there from the twist that the energy can dissipate, but it'll still hold the twist, right?
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm going to let this sit for a week.
I'm learning.
Then I'll turn it into a hank, and then I'll soak it, and that should set the twist as well.
Yeah.
And then this will become usable. And I have the little tiny mini skein from when we did the class.
Yeah.
And I still have that.
I still have that.
So I can't wait to like turn this into a skein and then have them side by side and be like with like, you know, 6 hours of practice in a class.
Yeah.
Then like 2 weeks of spinning practice.
Totally.
And see what the difference is. So I've started my next set. I have this is a bottom roll spindle. I also have a top roll spindle at home.
Yeah.
And that one had a little tiny bit of roving started on it as well. So I prepped all my fiber last night. I attached it back on and I did a little bit of spinning on that one. And it is so different spinning on a top whirl to a bottom whirl.
Yeah.
After 2 weeks of spinning on this, spinning on that took a little bit of getting used to, but I'm sure when I do it every day for the next little bit till I'm done.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But that one I'm going to do differently. This one I spun entirely and then turned into a centrifugal ball and plied it from the inside and the outside. That one, I took the roving, I split it down the middle. I'm going to spin 2 singles and then ply them together afterwards.
That's smart.
So trying something slightly different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is what you're supposed to do when you have...
Or a beginner? Yes.
No, yes, but also when you have a piece of wool roving that has a gradient.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you want your finished
or you could chain ply
yarn to also have a gradient, you would split it into halves and spin them at the same separately and then ply them so that the colors match up one with the other, or chain ply for sure. This is my example. It's not the only progress that I've made, but my cob started getting so heavy that my spindle was not spinning fast enough anymore. It got really sluggish. So this is my second beginning of a cob. And when I have 2 full cobs, I'm going to wind this one on and ply it with my other one, which I guess will give me that, at least for half of my yarn, the single will have rested for about a week. I fell off the wagon there for a couple of days.
That's okay.
I didn't spin Friday and Saturday, but I'm back at it again today. I spun this little bit this morning while I was having my coffee and my toast. I am really enjoying the challenge of doing this for a limited amount of time every day. I think what happens to me is that when I set myself to practice something or to get better at something, I overdo it time-wise. And then I get kind of sick of it and I don't want to continue. But doing this and having to document it with a picture or with a video and knowing that I should be doing 10 to 15 minutes is really helpful, because at the end of 10 minutes, I put it down even if I'm hooked. And it helps me not overdo it.
Yep.
And so far, I haven't gotten bored or sick of it, which is great.
Yeah.
And I'm now thinking that maybe this might be a good way for me to get better at my other creative interests, like watercolor and sewing and embroidery, etc. Do it only for 15 minutes at a time, so that I don't like get negative feelings around it. This is working out really well for me. I think I'm getting better. I feel myself not having to park and draft as much as before. Like I'm able to like draft as I'm spinning, which is to me a really advanced technique. So I'm really enjoying it. Thanks for the challenge, bud.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm hoping to keep it up for as long as possible.
I just want to point out that we have gone on this tangent for about 40 minutes now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
No, my dork was done at
that's what I mean.
2:27. I checked.
So we are if we want to talk about
our
the game of
topic
wool
of the day
before this ends, this is technically the topic of the day.
This is right. We did have a little. Each of us,
hey buddy,
learned about the game of wool separately.
Yes.
And we have thoughts about it that may or may not align. So I'm excited to hear what you guys think about it. So the game of wool is the first knitting competition television
Televised.
show
Yeah.
that is on the air. And the way that I learned about it is someone had posted on the internet like, oh, if you like Bake Off, you're going to love the Game of Wool. And I've been so excited about it. And then I watched it, and it was so sweet, and it was so cute, but it was not what I was expecting.
I was very disappointed.
You were disappointed?
I was disappointed.
Did you watch it?
I didn't watch the whole things. I watched clips here and there, and I did watch a lot of like reaction videos to find out what was happening because I didn't know what the tea was all about. So I do have like an understanding of the whole thing, but not like I haven't seen a full episode.
At least the first two are available on YouTube because that's where I watched them. I was planning to watch the third one tonight, which I think is also available.
I will
on YouTube.
watch it.
And yeah, I'm disappointed for a multitude of reasons. Number one, episode 1, the first challenge was knit a Fair Isle vest in chunky yarn in 12 hours.
To be fair, they said a reinterpretation of Fair Isle.
Okay, but it wasn't Fair Isle, it was stranded knitting. That's what they were doing. They're two different things.
Yeah.
All Fair Isle is
I
stranded
did
knitting, not all stranded knitting is Fair Isle.
That's what a lot of the reaction videos were about, was essentially
like the Shetland Knitters or Organization of Knitters or Association of Knitters put out a statement being like, you have devalued our heritage by showing it in the way that you did.
Yeah. It sounds like it was
misrepresentation of an entire culture.
It's the way a lot of the reaction sounds to me like the idea was cute in theory, and then when it got to practice, a lot of things didn't seem to line up properly because in essence, I'm assuming what they're trying to do is they're trying to turn into a competition something that is by essentially a very slow craft.
Yeah,
this is not
the structure of how they did it, of like, you have 12 hours to create this thing, when an actual properly done, following the rules of Fair Isle knitting vest would take you like a week or two of knitting. If they had done it, Annie, I think you had said this, if they had done it in the style of like Dancing with the Stars, where you get a week to do the thing, and then at the end of the week you come back and you're judged,
and you show
that
practice,
would be so much more
welcome.
Yeah, it would make more sense.
A, you'd end up with a much more accurate interpretation of the technique, style, whatever. And B, ergonomically, it would be so much better for you. Think about it this way. The first challenge was 12 hours of knitting on chunky needles with chunky yarn. Like
no,
this.
I was going to say, like, that
the
must
second
be freaking
challenge,
brutal on the body.
second challenge the next day was 10 hours to knit a sofa cover as a team. Again, chunky yarn, chunky needles. Do you know how dangerous that is for your musculature? It's
wow.
so dangerous. And honestly, I don't know if there just isn't somebody on the crew, like a doctor, medical, whatever, or maybe
who's thinking about ergonomics.
But like
nobody.
To do that, however many weeks of those challenges where like literally every day you're knitting all day, that is so dangerous.
So one thing I did seemed to come back a lot in reaction videos was the what a lot of people referred to as unfair judging. I don't know if it's true or not. That's what I'm asking. Like, did you feel like who are the judges? Let's start with that.
The judges are
Sheila and
Di Kilpin and Sheila, I can't remember her last name. But they work in like the fashion industry.
Yeah, they're knitwear designers.
They're knitwear designers, but they do hand knitting, but they work more in the fashion industry than like at home knitting type. Like the what they're knitting for professionally versus what the cast members, the contestants are knitting for are two different things.
Okay.
So that already puts a kind of like in it.
Okay.
I feel like, okay, there's so many ways that this can be interpreted. The judging is problematic in the sense that the judges provided like really intense technical feedback to the contestants. None of it was shown. What was shown was the shock value comments and the emotional responses.
Which is what a TV producer would do.
Which is what a TV producer, production company, that's what they want. They want that like...
Yeah, they want the drama.
So one of the YouTubers who I watched commentary from, her channel is called Deborah is Knitting, and she raised a really great point. She's like, the inconsistencies in the judging are they judging for technical competency, or are they judging for emotional impact? And they say that they're judging for technical competency, but then the
show doesn't.
They don't show
depict that.
Yeah, because apparently the first person to leave was somebody who was very technical.
Very advanced, who ended up having to create his own YouTube channel so that
to
he
explain.
could...
And I watched it. It was like an hour video of him explaining his experience, and not so much defending like his choices, but giving more context on why, like, the show made it look like
he didn't know what he was doing.
He didn't know what he was doing, and that he got casted off or like eliminated from the competition because he had steeked a sweater. It was that was absolutely not why he was removed from the show. He did know what he was doing. He is a very accomplished, lifelong,
he's done
virile knitter. Like,
he's freaking Scottish to boot.
Yeah. And so he even said, like, I used to support myself and my wife by making and selling virile hats. Right? Like, he knows what he's doing. But the show made it seem like they only cut kind of the emotional and like shocking reactions to Gordon's work in a way that it made it seem like when he was eliminated, it was because he had decided to steek, which, by the way, is a very common technique. Thing.
Yeah,
and not only common, it's like pretty much way.
It's it's one of the hallmarks of ferile
knitting is that you knit your colorwork in the round and then steek for neck and arms. That's like one of the basic things that you learn about ferile.
But it's very shocking for non-knitters or like people who
you're cutting your knitting. Oh no! But they didn't even really explain it properly on the show as to like why he was steeking. They're just like, he's gonna cut his knitting. Oh, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
but like you said,
it really was misrepresented.
Yeah. Because here's the thing, right? At the end of the day, as much as this is frustrating to hear, it sounds like it's very much a reality TV contest recipe, which is all of them. They are all the same, where they will edit and cut and edit in ways that looks like somebody's the villain, somebody's the cute one, somebody's the nice one, so in this case they're doing maybe a little bit different, but essentially
if that's what they were doing, if they were going to be judging based off of the emotional impact of the thing,
then say
it because on top of that, the inconsistencies with which the show is choosing to depict knitters, one thing that really has frustrated me and apparently a lot of other people is that the casting is uneven, right? So several of the people who are there they work in the fashion industry. They have been knitting lifelong. They have this technical proficiency, which is so far and above some of the other contestants.
Like
Holger, for example. Yeah,
I'm a Holger fan.
Same. We stand. But like their level, their ability, their experience is so much higher than some of the other cast members who they might be incredibly proficient in crochet but are still new in their knitting journey. And so that's fair. But if your tagline is the game of wool looking for Britain's best knitter, then it is entirely unfair and, in my opinion, unethical that they've set up some of these cast members, some of these contestants for failure by bringing them onto the show when they have a knitting experience that is this big and they're being put against people whose knitting experience is this big.
Yeah.
Like that's not... That
I
have an issue with that.
I would like to also add.
That's a casting issue. That's not the contestant. It's not the problem with the contestants. That is a production casting issue.
Well, it sounds like a lot of this is production issues.
No, hold on. I have something to say about the casting because one of the things that is very much clouding everybody's judgment about this show is that we are expert knitters.
Yes.
We know what we're looking at. We know what these people are doing. We know when the show says something that is incorrect. Yeah. We can tell. Mm-hmm. We all outraged when SciShow posted that knitting and physics video that was incorrect in many ways and riled up against it. But what we're forgetting is that this show is very likely not made for us. Yeah. Hold on. I'm still cooking. When you talk about the casting being different levels of expertise, I agree, But I also know that that is what makes for good television. And when you think about other similar programs like Bake Off, they also pit cast members against each other who have vastly different experiences and expertise levels.
Okay,
there's always like someone who's like, I only cook for my family and I only bake for my son's birthday, and there's another one
versus like
I'm a pastry chef and I'm retired, so my whole life I've been baking blah blah blah. But we know right off the bat that when Bake Off announces who's the winner, they don't say the best baker in Britain. They say the best home baker.
Yeah.
So the playing field is a little bit more even then. I do not disagree with having given people the opportunity to be on the show who have not met a certain amount of experience years, because there was a task that everybody needed to complete in order to be part of the show, to be considered as having achieved the audition. And the audition, if you guys haven't looked at it, was are you able to knit a hat in 90 minutes? That was a test. If you were in Britain and you wanted to be on the show, the entry task was, can you knit a hat in 90 minutes?
So then in that case, it's not about technical competence.
No, it's about speed.
It's a speed knitting competition.
But then
they didn't say that. If this was a speed knitting competition, I would be locked in.
Say it's a speed competition, because that's what it is. And which, again, goes, I'm sorry, I don't care, like, it goes against everything I know about knitting and crocheting.
It doesn't, though.
Like, for me, it does. Or, like, my experience.
But for you as a hobbyist, maybe.
It does.
But the history of knitting, not necessarily.
No.
That's true.
The history of knitting, not at all.
Not at all, yeah.
Historically, especially in Britain and in Scotland, women were knitting for money. For their
it was a product.
They were cranking out silk and wool, full stockings, a pair a day. And that is how they make their stitches. There are Shetland knitters today that can still knit 230 stitches a minute.
Yep.
That's disturbing.
So it's not disturbing.
I love it. No, but I mean, like, as in it's, like, amazing.
Yeah, it doesn't go against it. What my problem with it is not the casting. My problem is not, like, the challenges that they're putting in. My problem is that they are not testing for what all the promo of the show implied that they were testing for.
Yeah.
So for the Fair Isle thing, I have, like, of course, like, this wasn't a design challenge because they weren't evaluated on the design, or at least they didn't show the feedback on their design.
Yeah, which apparently they did, because Di Gilpin, one of the judges, has since been in the comments of a lot of these YouTube commentaries, being like, actually, we gave people like 10 to 15 minutes of feedback on every single thing. None of it was shown.
Okay.
Yeah, so like
that's a production choice.
That's what I mean. Like, a lot of this seems to be on the production side of things, because it sounds like a lot of the what we're seeing is what they want us to see. And like you said,
what has happened is, at the end of the day, you have a show about knitting created by people who are not knitters.
Yeah.
And that's
for a public who's not necessarily knitters. That's also the thing.
That is okay. That's
but that's what I mean.
Like, when I watch Bake Off, I don't know shit about baking, and I really doubt that pastry chefs all over the world are looking to watch British Bake Off. They don't care.
But Bake Off is not misrepresenting baking to a lay audience. This show is misrepresenting knitting to a lay audience.
I want to talk about one particular term that really put me off on the first episode when during the Fair Isle challenge, that I didn't realize was incorrect until another knitting Instagram person that I follow mentioned it. And he was saying, like, I was fully misinformed about the term piri. Because when they were describing what Fair Isle is, incorrectly in my opinion as well, they were saying, like, oh, there are these big patterns and they're called this, and there are this other medium patterns, and the very small repeating patterns are called piris. right? And so when the judges are looking at the results, they're like, and your piri looks really good, right? Blah, blah, blah. So this piri term was repeated over and over. And I was like, oh my God, I learned something. This is something that I didn't know. It was wrong. Piri is an adjective that is specifically a regionalism of the Faroe Isles. And they use it to describe something that is cute and small.
Oh.
Right? It's like a piri baby. Or like a bairn, right? A piri bird or something like that. Like something that's small and cute.
Small and cute.
And the show totally misunderstood that term and used it incorrectly, therefore educating a lot of viewers in what a term you didn't know about was. I fully absorbed that as truth. And I feel really aggravated at having been
essentially lied to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they were out there maliciously looking to lie.
No, but if you're not sure, like that's also on the research team. Like, get your shit together.
Yeah, but
I learned
how many times, having worked in research myself, how many times has a researcher been like, "This is the fact"?
Oh yeah,
and the people who are in control of the narrative being like,
"That's
it's
not
take
sexy
way too
enough.
much."
It's not gonna sell.
That's not gonna sell. I don't know if you guys follow Hazel Tyndall on
no.
Anyway, Hazel Tyndall is the world's fastest knitter.
Cool.
And she is a Shetland inhabitant. She lives in Shetland.
Local?
A Shetland local, and she's a one of the biggest personalities in the tradition of Faroe Isle knitting.
Oh, I've heard of her.
So I follow her, and because I go to Hazel Tyndall's YouTube channel a lot to just look at her tutorials and such, and her interviews. This other YouTuber had interviewed Hazel Tyndall, Faroe Isle queen, like actual worthy queen, about the game of wool and about her knitting weeks before. And so after the show aired, this person who interviewed her released her YouTube video, and she had to give a disclaimer like, we hadn't seen Game of Wool when we were talking about it, but this is what Hazel has to say about it. It turns out a year ago, or like really, really long ago, the producing team from the Game of Wool came to Shetland, and they talked to a bunch of people there, Hazel Tyndall included. And she was saying like, oh yeah, I was showing them my stuff. We talked about what it is. We shared the terms. They learned from me. I told them I'm really excited to see what they do with the show. Although I don't think it's for me, but I'm excited to see what they say. So absolutely, the production company did go to Shetland. So they did interview the correct people. They just chose not to appropriately depict what they had learned.
To say nothing of the AI images that they used that were incorrect in episode 2.
Why the fuck was there 4 knitting needles in the depiction of stockinette stitch? Why were there 4 on a flat knitted piece? The crochet hook was like absolutely not a crochet.
It looked like a fish hook.
It was AI.
They used AI, Alex. Yeah.
It was AI.
Okay, that's just... what?
First of all, I feel really bad about poor Tom Daly because he has nothing to do with this. It's his first time in an acting role.
Yeah, he's probably like, why did I choose this?
He's probably doing his best and does not see any of these until the show airs. Like, that's not just, like, I think it was a fun choice, but then we also talked about, like, why did they have to choose a white man?
Dude, you want to know more about the, like, of it all?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first of all, this show is being sponsored in part by
Rowan,
Serdar, and Wool and the Gang, who are all owned by the same parent company.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
So it's being all the yarn provided is from Rowan Serdar and Wool and the Gang. And as a result, the contract that, I'm just going to say Rowan because I can't remember the name of the parent company, but I mean all 3 of them. The contract that Rowan signed with Channel 4 is so fucked up because as soon as the first episode aired, and then again on the second episode, Rowan and these yarn companies released kits for the designs made by the contestants.
Yeah, which by
and
the way,
now
I do want.
People have been asking, are the designers being compensated?
They're not.
And guess what? They're not because Rowan has the contract with Channel 4, not with the designers. They said they're being properly credited where in all the listings. Now, only the first name is being included, not the last name. No links to where they can be found. On Instagram, pictures of all of these kits from the show, from Rowan, whatever, have no collaborative posts with the designers themselves. However, all of the garments that Tom Daly has been wearing, the Game of Wool Instagram has had absolutely no problem collaborating with the artists who created those patterns that he's wearing.
My flabbers
That's
are fully
just,
gassed.
like, I knew they
And-
weren't compensated because I was like, that makes no sense. But I'm curious, like,
Here's
it's
the
been
thing,
what,
though.
three episodes out there, right? 3 episodes.
3 episodes are out now.
So I'm assuming the outrage has been out for a little bit. Has there been
none of
pushback?
the contestants are allowed to talk about the
Until the
competition
show is over.
show is done airing. They all signed. That was part of their agreements.
Well,
to
no,
be on
that's
the
the
show.
thing.
But the
They
veteran
haven't,
winner
but
has
we
been
know now.
posting weekly updates. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm excited for you to see this.
No, but they can't
blah,
talk
blah,
to the media. They
Like,
can
that's the
post on
thing.
social media.
But what
they
I mean
can't
is, like,
talk on media.
we now know what these companies have done. So, like, have the companies come out and say, like...
Well, no. So like Rowan, the
It's
yarn
not
company.
illegal. Let's be clear.
No,
about that.
100%.
So Rowan has come out and they have said, like, we made the contract with Channel 4. Based on the terms of the contract we signed, we're doing everything correctly. Nothing illegal is occurring.
And
now,
they did not have anything to do with compensation for the participants.
yes.
But that's
so
what I-
it's
that's-
Channel 4 who has not yet said anything. However, in Gordon's exit interview at the end of the first one, he says specifically that I'm not getting paid to knit. They're not getting paid to be on the show.
Of course not.
At all.
The participants never are.
Sometimes they are.
No, sometimes
Dude,
they
you
are.
go on like The Bachelorette or something, you make shit money.
Yeah, there's
But you
people,
don't- so much
there's
money.
people
You
who
don't
actually
get
do
paid
this.
by the show. There's sponsors that then pay you separately to like product placement or whatever. The show doesn't pay you.
Either way, these yarn companies are making deals with the production company with Channel 4, and that is now to the point where the designers are not being compensated financially for the things they're coming up with. Because all of the designs, based on the terms of the agreement, all of the designs are now owned by Channel 4, which is garbage.
But that's what I was going to say. Like, here's the thing. I'm going to, like, this might be an unpopular opinion. But in a case like this, as, like, when the contract was written or whatever, like, Rowan and that, the parent company, they know that designers should be, I hope they know that designers should be. No, but that's what I mean is, like, from the point of view of a fiber content or yarn creators, that for them to say, oh, well, we have a contract, so it's not no, it is 100% also your fault because you chose to write a contract.
This is very common in the fashion industry in general, where the production of a thing, a kit, a garment, whatever, if they can attain the rights to the pattern, to the design without having to pay for it,
they will.
Because it is a cost-saving measure.
It is
like, it's
not
very
a good
common.
practice.
It's
Sure,
not a good practice.
I think it changes my opinion of that company for the rest of my life. I will not want to shop with them because for me, what I see is like...
Okay, but babe, if you function under that, which I fully support, don't support problematic people, but if you function under that, then you can never... buy yarn again.
No, 100%. I get that.
Fashion, anything,
but here's the thing.
Everybody does it.
I get that. But I don't know which companies do and which companies there are I know. But what I mean is there are cases like here's a good example. Joe Fresh. There's a lot of people use Joe Fresh and buy Joe Fresh. I refuse to touch Joe Fresh because of what happened years ago when their whole fucking factory burned down and they didn't give a shit about the corpses. Yeah. So that's something that I know. And because I know, it's a long story. Because I know, I will never buy from that company again. Fair. Now, there are other companies that are probably just as problematic, but because I don't have an actual, example, I haven't seen, then I'm like, fine. So for me, this is how if I see it, and I know for a fact that you've done this, then my opinion of you has changed, and then I close that door, and then I move on with my life.
but we also don't, not to play devil's advocate, but we don't have all the information.
Oh, 100%.
It could be the case that when the contestants signed up, they signed an agreement relinquishing all the rights to all of the things
That's
that
what
they
I was
designed.
about to say.
Which is most likely the case. However, they probably signed that without a full understanding of the fact that there was then going to be kits made. Like, that might be the part that's a bit shady, but that's on Channel 4. Right?
Fair.
So... To add more to the fire, one thing that I really am frustrated with is that the British wool industry is struggling, like capital struggling. And to the point where farmers are actually saying it is cheaper for me to light all of my fleeces on fire than it is for me to sell them.
That's crazy.
And so
it's the same in Canada, by the way.
Same in Canada, by the way. It is at the point where the like heritage sheep breeds, you know, heritage crafts, heritage industry, all of this stuff that has been kept alive for hundreds of years, the industry is struggling so hard, and Channel 4 had the opportunity to be like, let's get some partnerships with British wool.
Yeah.
You know, not an international conglomerate.
They had the chance to do something good and they chose not to do it.
They chose not to do it. And as a result, this is now happening, this like commercialization of what's being created, which is really, really frustrating.
And that's very frustrating.
It's very disappointing that, you know, like, we have felt, makers and knitters and crafters, I don't know if you agree, but we've been pretty much given the short end on the stick in the media for a really long time.
Yep.
We've been called grandmas. We've been misrepresented every time there's a knitter on screen and they're actually like knitting a granny square that's crochet. Like it's offensive to a certain point.
So sad.
To have the life experience that a lot of people like us have and see ourselves not just not represented in the media,
Misaligned.
but
misrepresented.
misrepresented. Yeah. Like, not only are you like ignoring us and belittling us for choosing to do this type of art, but when you do choose to represent it, it's a caricature to you. It's a joke.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I really hoped that the Game of Wool was going to bring a little bit of further education.
But it does seem like they're leaning into some of those stereotypes, because apparently there's some of the characters, or some of the contestants
like,
were kind of like seeing them as like, oh, the quirky grandma.
Yeah. Stephanie, for example, every time they're like checking in with her, she's like, oh, I've got my knitting and a cup of tea, I'm well sorted. And it's like, why don't we talk about what she's doing in her life that led her to this? Or one of the contestants, Lydia, she is a very accomplished yarn dyer in the UK. She has a very successful business.
Oh.
And they
Never mentioned.
Weiku Yarns is her company. Never mentioned. She's talked about as being like a wife and a mother and like a community member from her town in, I can't remember where. But like, that's it. Like,
that could be because of the contract with the parent company, maybe. No?
Well, why not? She's
like, they're not allowed to talk to about anything that would be competition.
But they said that Holger was works on Savile Row and is a fashion designer. Oh. But they can't say that Lydia owns her own yarn business?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, there's some double standards.
It sounds like it's like picking, like cherry picking, right?
It is. Yeah. I don't know. One of the things that also frustrates me is that they decided to choose this like incredibly technically detailed challenge, Fair Isle, and put it on the first episode when they also had to introduce all the contestants. And they're like, oh, we just didn't have time to introduce the concept of Fair Isle and explain more about it. Then why did you put it on the first episode?
Why don't you just start with a very simple, like, first challenge?
It doesn't have to be simple, but if you know that if you're going to be doing something that is going to require a lot of explanation, don't put it in an episode where you also are committing to 10 to 15 minutes of cast introduction.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, start with a simple...
What I really like is that this is bringing visibility to an art form that is otherwise seen as less than.
Very true.
It is being represented with the opportunity for these people to showcase art pieces and not just functional or practical pieces. I like that they're giving the opportunity to design, to put their own personality, to use it as an expression form. I really like all of that, and those are values that I really appreciate out of knitting and crochet. And I also like that there's diversity in the people that they brought in. There's a good gender split, there's a good age split, so that we're not leaning too far in one direction or in one demographic. I appreciate that they try to bring in and represent the diversity of the people who love wool, right? What I don't like is how the art form itself is being represented and how it's being turned into a competition where there already exists historical evidence of this being competitive, right? The knitting guilds exist. There were tests and certifications that you needed to achieve before you could belong to the knitting guild and sell your wares. There's historical evidence of knitting circles and women making a living out of it, and it being a category in county fairs for them to be evaluated. There's so many good things that you could measure and evaluate and celebrate that are just not being chosen to be the competitive nature of this show. For me, what would be great is let's have one speed challenge. If that's what you really want to do, let's have a proper speed challenge and see who's the fastest.
Yep.
We can also see who's the neatest. We can also see whatever,
like different
right? And have
categories.
And have a category that's like a technical execution challenge.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's what they do on Bake Off, right? Like they have the one thing that is the technical challenge that everybody has been given time to prepare for in advance. They bring their own recipe,
exactly.
And then they have the second challenge, which is the one that you're blindsided by, the one where you don't necessarily I have an idea based on the theme what it could be, but you're given in the moment, and they either, for example, they omit sections of the recipe, or you have to sub out an ingredient, and everybody is given that same thing to kind of create a stumbling block that's equal.
Yeah.
That would be really
so fun.
Interesting. And then having that like you said, Dancing with the Stars style thing where they have time to prepare, and then they can actually
To be fair, they did give the participants time to prepare their own Fair Isle designs, and most of them did not make Fair Isle designs because the wool that they were giving was not conducive to the art.
It was very chunky.
That it's probably not the right. It's not the entire story, and they were encouraged to be creative and have a reinterpretation of Fair Isle, which was straight out the bat. We were not supposed to expect traditional Fair Isle. But
then don't fucking call it Fair Isle for the duration of the challenge.
Yeah.
It's stranded knitting.
Stranded colorwork.
All Fair Isle is stranded knitting. Not all stranded knitting is Fair Isle.
It's kind of like
it has its own name for a reason.
Or champagne, right?
Yeah.
Not all sparkling wine is champagne, but all champagne is sparkling wine.
Yeah.
So if you're serving sparkling wine, don't fucking call it champagne.
Unless it's from Champagne.
Fair Isle is a culturally protected term in the Fair Isles.
Yeah.
In Scotland, it is a culturally recognized name. It is given legal protected status, essentially, legally recognized status, because of how culturally specific it is.
Yeah.
I want to take a moment also to put a little positive spin on this, because there are some things, like I said, that I really did like, and I will continue to watch this show for two main reasons. The first one, I think Tom Daly is adorable. He's like cute. Him as a host. I like the feedback and the encouragement that he's giving the contestants, and I like that the environment, while it is competitive, it is not pitting one against the other, at least not yet.
Yeah.
I appreciate a competition where there's camaraderie and people are being helpful to each other, and I think the personality of those who love the soft arts is really showing through, and that's something that I enjoy watching, regardless of whether the rest of the show is culturally accurate, or if it's fair competition. I care less about that, because I'm still entertained and my heart is still warmed by watching these knitters and crocheters come together in their group challenges and such. The other reason why I want to continue to watch it is because I want to give... I want to send the message with my consumption that this is the kind of content that we want to watch.
Yes, that's
I want to put sort of my choice with my consumption, sort of to even out the demand. If we see this, the first iteration of a television show that depicts us semi-accurately, and that is maybe finally geared towards us, and we choose not to engage with it, the only thing that will happen is that ratings will not be high enough, and we will not see any more, and we will then have forfeited the opportunity to improve on and have our voices heard and see a better version of this in the future. So for those two reasons, I am going to continue to watch The Game of Wool. I'm probably not going to like most of it, but I think it's still time well spent for me, because it's bringing me joy and entertainment, and it's sending...
And it's also a learning experience, too.
For them.
For them.
Like,
no, but also...
I don't give a shit about them, but
I mean more for us as in, like, what not to do.
Yeah.
I wonder if the whole point of this substandard show was to stir up controversy. And that might actually be a really profitable technique.
Drama sells.
That's
the
right.
thing, exactly.
Drama does sell. Why do you think people still watch Love Island? It's a train wreck.
It is a train wreck.
But drama and you know,
I've never actually seen that.
Don't.
Public
Save yourself.
disruption and uproar sells, you know, like excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, like, I don't know if you guys have ever taken a social media webinar or class or something, but one of the things that is really recommended is when you post something with a blatant mistake.
Yep.
If you're trying to grow your social media, because it's more likely that people are going to react on an anger or on a, you know, like, feeling of disrespect or uproar and engage with the content to correct you.
Yep.
Then they will to say, like, haha, nice, right?
Yep. When you've done something right, people won't be sure.
It is very likely, Margot, that this is all intentionally incorrect so that they will get more viewing.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Boo, hiss, boo.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to continue to watch the Game of War?
I will, because here, look, I'm one of those people that believes you can't complain about something if you're not fully informed about it.
Very true.
So if I want to be
I still complain about
as
shit I don't know
bitchy
about.
on the internet as I want to be, I need to watch the dang show.
Yeah.
But you want to be a well-researched bitch.
I want to be.
well,
I am a well-researched bitch.
You want to have receipts. You want the receipts.
But I need to uphold that reputation.
That's true.
I can't be the academic of the group
Yeah.
if I'm not doing the academic.
Do you think you're going to watch the full episodes?
Yeah, I'll
They're
give
on
it a
YouTube.
shot. I'll give it a shot. If only so I can, you know, complain about it more accurately. But yes.
If anything, just to be able to complain about it more accurately is the right choice.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us hate watching.
Mind you, this is our opinions, right? Like, you can still watch the show and not take anything that we said seriously. But,
Like,
we are pearls and we have perspective.
I've said before that, like, we're three people with opinions and our opinions don't matter in the wider world. But when you have a multiplicity of crafters being like, our opinion is
Actually,
that you're doing this
pretty bad.
wrong,
that's the
weight.
thing. Yeah, 100%.
That has weight.
100%.
Yeah.
If everybody points at you and says, like, are you sure? But like I said, like, it's like one of my favorite quotes. When you've done something right, people won't be sure you've done anything at all. They only complain when you've done something wrong.
I also very much want to check my ego at the door and return to that notion of maybe this is just not for me. Maybe this show was not made for knitters and crochet. Maybe this show is trying to exploit an untapped market so that people who don't knit or crochet can have something more to watch and be entertained about, regardless of whether or not they're interested in the craft. A bunch of people watch soccer that don't give a shit about soccer.
But, okay, I said this already, and I'm going to say it again. It is fine if we as crafters are not the target audience. What is not fine is the misrepresentation of the craft itself.
That is true.
Because like misrepresenting soccer is pretty hard. So, you know, so like you're right.
You would be surprised. Shaolin soccer exists.
That's true.
And if you haven't seen that movie, it's a combination of soccer and martial arts.
Yeah,
and it is very inaccurate.
On both sides.
It's quite
both
special.
sides.
It's quite special. No, but that's what I mean. Is like in it's you're right.
Yeah, we don't have to be the target audience for this.
But at least
you can't fuck everybody over that's coming into it by misrepresenting them as contestants, misrepresenting them as judges, misrepresenting their experiences and their
the craft
expertise,
because that is how harmful prejudices continue to be perpetuated.
Yeah.
It's because they are represented in the media as something that they are not, and then folks take it as truth and include it in their own personal biases. Much like I learned the term Piri absolutely incorrectly.
Well, I don't know when they were doing their research or whatever to prepare for this. I don't know if they ever thought, if they even did it, but I would hope that they would have actually talked to, like, not just talked to knitters and crocheters about the craft, but also about, like, what kind of challenge would make sense on TV for you. what kind of, you know what I mean? But I don't think they did that, or it doesn't look like they did that, because a lot of the things look...
Well, one of the things that irks me, of the many multitude of things that irk me about the show, is that not only are they misrepresenting the craft as a whole, but they're misrepresenting and undervaluing what it takes to do the craft, right? Like, in having it be posed, even if they're not saying it, as a speed knitting competition, they're undervaluing the time it actually takes to make a thing to completion, and thus people who then work in the fashion industry, people who sell handmade goods, like, they're devaluing the amount of time it takes to actually do those things. Yeah, but and so for them of like financial
because the thing is true. We also have to remember that in today's world, everything is fast. Producing is very fast, because those are two different things. And because so much of the fashion industry is now not creating, it is now producing, a lot of people don't really see you know what I mean? So this is why there is that misrepresentation of like, oh, if you're knitting or crocheting, then you're a grandma, where it's like your craft is slow. But like, forgetting that like this is how it used to be. The reason why now you're seeing it as slow is because you have access to so many things so fast.
That are so much faster. You're so right.
Yep.
You know, even just machine knitting and machine sewing or sewing, like it just making of any garment now a garment can be made in like minutes when you have the right setup. Right, so it makes sense that
and when you underpay people to do it,
or not pay them at all. So
or not pay them at all.
It's just it's frustrating, because these are not the same. Producing and creating are not the same, and if you want something that was created, you have to pay for the time.
Yeah. And the difference is scale, right? The moment that you scale up creation and creativity, it is no longer a creative endeavor. It is now a producing business, a production business.
It's all about production.
Right? Yep. So I can take my time and work on this precious Qiviut kerchief, regardless of how long it takes me. I might, lock in, black out, and finish it by tomorrow. But that's my choice.
Yeah.
And the difference is that I won't be evaluated on it. I won't be judged on it. I won't be paid for it, because this is something that I do for myself.
And you also, if you do decide to lock in and finish it in one day, you also, as a hobbyist, have the space to not pick up your needles for a week.
Yes, exactly.
Because you're like, I want a break from it.
Exactly.
It's not, the fact that you need to do it to eat.
There's a great recommendation for a well-researched knitting program in the chat that I'm definitely going to check out later, Rosemary and Pine.
Yeah.
I haven't heard about it, but I am hungry for more knitting content.
Yeah.
So hungry, in fact, that we created our own podcast, because there's not enough talk about knitting in the world, right?
Nope.
We need to talk more about it. Yeah. And us too, we're not getting paid. We're doing this because we love it, and we're going to bring you our opinions, sometimes filtered, sometimes unfiltered.
Mostly.
Feel free to disagree with us. Let's have a conversation and tell us, are you going to watch the Game of Wool? Are you also feeling negative or positive emotions about it? Put them in the comments below and tell us what you think we should be watching instead.
Yeah.
If it's not
or reading, if there's any good reading.
Always
books
good.
Reading
Yeah.
knitters.
Always looking for good.
I found out recently that a local Ottawa author, whose pen name is Kate Cole, who writes women in trades romance books, her most recent one about an underwater welder who's also a knitter. So,
and in love.
I'm 1000% going to read Kate Cole's books, and it's not just because I know the author, but it's also because the books are fantastic. So yeah, but there are, if you have any good recommendations out there where the characters are knitters, drop them below too, because that would also be great.
I've also had this idea before, but I want us to have a community county fair competition.
There's a whole bunch of them over the summer.
Yeah. I know, but I want us to have it here in our community, with the people that we knit with, and use it as an opportunity to just, celebrate each other.
If we do that, if we have a competition, then if we are the judges, we can't enter.
We can't be the judges. It would be sort of like a voting thing, like you can't vote for yourself, but go put like star stickers on the one that you want to win, right? Something like low stakes, that really is to me just like an opportunity to celebrate how much fun and how much joy this brings us, and that we're actually quite badass at it. We're pretty good.
Bilbo, I
Pretty
think, is
amazing.
sick of us talking.
Bilbo is sick
he's
of us
passed
talking.
out very much.
He's
And
like,
it's
"I'm so
3:30, friends.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Do you want to wrap us up?
Sure. Well, this has been Purl's Perspectives. I'm Carine,
I'm Anahí.
And I'm Allie.
and we'll see you, I guess, in 2 weeks, I guess, would be the next one.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed that it will be in 2 weeks.
As we head
2
into the
weeks.
holidays, TBD.
Yeah, it's always, we'll try.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us.
See you next time.
Bye.